It's telling me I'm live. Am I live? Oh yeah, we've got to watch the lag, haven't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got about a 5-second lag there. Good afternoon, you lovely people. Well, almost evening, isn't it? First of all, can someone let me know if I'm getting out okay, visual and audio? It's a lot of t-shirts. Yeah, it is, Holly.
Yeah, you're okay.
Thank you.
I'm glad you've only got a 5-second lag.
I have actually got a matching hat. Thank you, guys. Good afternoon, Stuart, Carl. Oh, God, my hair's all over the bloody place now.
Oh,
It brightens up a Friday, doesn't it? I did have a lot of them. Even a silk one. I had some handmade ones that my brother gave me, but they all got a bit small, so I threw them out. Yeah, Holly, I've actually got a picture of me that, do you remember from the holiday? Afternoon, Carl. Yeah, I'm fine, mate. Thank you. Just a little bit tired after the treatment yesterday. Okay. Fair enough, Stuart. Fair enough. Good of you to join us. I wasn't expecting you after the message from you yesterday, but welcome. Who else we got dropping in? We've got 13 in here. Dan was in earlier on. I dare say he will be dropping in and out for a little while when he's got time. But because he's seeing his lads, then I wouldn't hold up much hope. We won. Hello, sweetheart. Hello, Lucas. Spies. Well, I don't think we got any spies, Holly. I mean, I don't say anything about any other channels. I just leave them alone, and hopefully they'll leave me alone. But we do know there's a few idiots out there, so hopefully we won't be bothered by them too much today. So, how's everybody doing? Thank you, Simon. Oh, ow. Right, no emails hanging up there. Sean, good afternoon, darling. Well, has the Russia-Ukraine thing stopped? I mean, to be honest, I've heard nothing about it over the last few days, other than Zelensky visiting. I think it was Israel, was it, trying to hold the begging bowl out from people who've got nothing to give. I did find that quite amusing. But yeah, it's... I just don't know. I can't figure out what's going on at the moment. Well, obviously they're not telling the truth. I mean, you got this shit about... I will put the panel up shortly. So obviously no phone in. I don't have the provisos for that here. But yeah, Richie going on about AI, saying it could end up being very dangerous. Well, like I said, in the video yesterday, has he been watching the same old sci-fi movies I have? is he frightened of, what was it called in the film? Wampa War Games, wasn't it? A few years back. But I think, no, it can be very damaging, and I think we should be very, very worried about it. Because, I mean, look what happened to human beings once they came aware. We've been around that long, but we still haven't got any natural intelligence in some people, you know.
Look at what's happened since you've learned how to use a computer.
I know, and
absolute mayhem.
I am a tech god. I keep telling you, until it breaks down, then that's your position. Then,
yeah.
Afternoon Bulldog. Yeah, I believe it is something we should worry about. You know, they keep saying there's all this technology, all these modern advancements. Good afternoon, Rippy. How you doing, buddy? But are they good for us? I mean, any of these technological improvements that I've seen come in my lifetime, at the very least, have cost somebody their job. So if people ain't working, yeah, maybe I'm looking at it from the wrong angle. I don't know. But
maybe that's how you get a job. You identify as a robot.
Yeah, but every time you want to do anything on here, you've got to click the little box, ain't you? Maybe I should start saying, yes, I am a fucking robot. Give me a job. Yeah, good thinking, darling. Yeah, I am a robot.
I don't think the wages have been much good.
But going back to the video yesterday, I said about the police going rogue and that in London. Now, they actually came out, was it this morning or late yesterday, and said that there's a big rise in anti-Semitism offences and hate crime, adding compared to the same time last year. Good afternoon, Phil. Now, what are they comparing it to? Because over the last weekend, well, the last two, we've seen more people on the street committing these sort of crimes than we've ever done. Thousands of people on the streets. So what are they comparing it to? You know, and it is quite a huge rise, but yeah, I'd expect to see it. Yes, exactly, Bulldog. Anglophobia. That's what I said. It's near enough to the point where it's an offence to be a fucking British person in their own country. It really is. It's getting close to that. You've only got to see with the way they're carrying on. But we know what they're like. We know what they're going to do. You can preempt it, but there ain't a lot you can do about it, you know? The only thing we can do is fight them in their own game and use the law against them itself, which a lot of people are doing now with putting claims in against them. And sorry if I'm not looking at the camera, people. The chat's down there and the camera's up there. And these glasses, I got them made specially for looking at the computer, so they're just... Good afternoon, Mo. I'm just looking in the private chat, but there can't be any in there yet because I haven't opened StreamYard, have I? Oh, never mind. But I will be carrying on as usual, probably till about 7. I haven't heard from our friend who's likely to drop in. And he does normally, in fairness, let us know if he's coming round. So that would possibly be the only reason for me ending early, unless I just start falling asleep, which is quite possible, but hopefully not. It's basically I've started my new round of treatment. I had the first one last week, 2 weeks ago. And what they're doing to combat it, because I'm nowhere near to this test they've got to do, because they can't get all the isotope. Apparently, it's very expensive and very, very elusive to get hold of. So they've upped my treatment, where they are taking probably half as amount again of blood each time. That's every 3 weeks now. But it hit me harder than it did with the last one. I'd done a lot of walking. There was only 2 weeks between these two. And I got home yesterday. I had a headache. I just kept falling asleep. So, and I've had a rough night as well last night. But we'll see how we go. Noodles. Angry murdered noodle. Oh dear. Oh. Oh, this one. Oh, I was quite shocked to hear this one, actually. The EU looking at new laws of the road. Effectively. Well, I don't quite know what they're trying to do. Now, this one, they're considering in Europe at the moment, and you can guarantee once they've got it in, then it won't be long before whichever shit show is in power here at the time, is they're going to put new speed restrictions in. But what they're actually going to do is make the speed limit lower for motorcycles than they are for cars, to stop the motorbikes overtaking cars. Well, quite what that's going to achieve, I don't know, because if the traffic's static and a motorcycle isn't allowed to overtake a car, that's just going to make the traffic jam worse in my mind. But no worries, Beardy. You know what YouTube are like for putting me out, mate. But welcome. No need to be sorry for late, buddy. And thank you for the logo as well. I've put it up most places now. Obviously, I've only got the free StreamYard, so I can't replace the duck in the corner with it. I suppose I could put it down in the corner, but after.
You'll learn how to.
Yeah, I will eventually. I tend to work things out. But notice again, no silly hearts in the chat. That absolutely works. Yeah, it is, Ollie. That's absolutely brilliant. I mean, the first one weren't bad. The picture was brilliant. It was just the wording. Because when anybody mentions me or gives me a shout out, they always forget to put the UK on the end. Now, if you just search my name, there is a lot of them on there. Most of them are in America. It looks like there's more Whittingtons in America and Canada than there is in this bloody country. Yet it is an English name. Yes, Rippy, it's... I just don't understand them, mate. I just don't understand them. And as I've said before, our speed limits, most of them were set with cars with drum brakes, no anti-lock, no ABS. Don't forget Titwood. Well, apparently he was a relation of mine. And he did go to London, Bulldog. I did research it, and not so long back. I can't remember his name now. But it wasn't Dick, I know that, and it wasn't Richard, it was another one. But apparently that's the one it was based on. But I've got a black and white cat. She's as old as I am, and it would take her as long to walk up the room as it would to London. They're really they're great if you want to get on the spot reactions and comments. The first one I did was by mistake. I just assumed that's, put a time on it. Yeah, Premiere, it'll go up when it's ready, but I was wrong. But yeah, it's great because you got some friends in there supporting you as well. And it's an on the spot reaction to the video more than anything. Yeah, exactly, Birdie. Exactly. I mean, you look what they got out there now, self-driving ones. Well, yeah, I'd never trust them anyway, but enough trouble trusting myself. And I bet that's going to say, oh, you are live. Oh, yes. Thank you, YouTube. Yeah, be aware in the comments on the videos, guys. YouTube are having an absolute hissy fit in there at the moment. They can't remove some of them, so what they do is they bury them. And as I say, I have to go looking for them. But I don't understand why they're doing it, because I play by the rules. I never used to, but I do now. And you've got to, because it's the only way we're going to be able to keep putting stuff out. But they just latched on to me, and that's it. We're going to piss you about. I don't know whether to save this one for... I've got to find it first. Whether to save this one for when we've got somebody on the panel. Okay, why aren't you bringing it up? No, don't want that. What I want is... There we go. Is it that one I look at? Bloody hell, the internet's slow tonight. Oh, it's going to put all that shit over it. Bear with me a sec, guys. So I researched something last night, and it's just something I thought funny to bring up. Oh, where are we? There we go. Right, now, you're going to love this one. Holly, this is going to totally freak you out. Right. Let's see if I can get this right. Because I can move that around. No, I don't want that there. Why has that one come up? That's the one I want. Right, has anybody heard of necro pants? Now, this is not porn or anything like that. Good afternoon, Tony Hunter. Are you following this closely, Holly? Right, now, necro pants, as you can see there, look like a hollow human, which is exactly what they are. Now, they can be found in the Witchcraft and Dark Magic Museum in Iceland. Not Iceland the shop, Iceland the island. Now, apparently, what it is the bottom half Yep, literally, Rippy. It's the bottom half of the outer skin of a dead person.
Your mate.
Hey?
Your mate. A friend.
Yeah. Now, tradition has it that you have to seek permission. A meat suit. I'll get to that in a minute, Stuart. You'll like this bit. You have to have permission from the person before they die. And after they died, they literally peel the bottom off from the waist down. Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, it's more like fucking Hellraiser would be. And the person puts them on over his own legs. Now, what the tradition says is that part, which is obviously the scrotum, to fulfill the spell or whatever it is. Let's see if I can find it. But I can give you the outline if it ain't all in there. That's it. Right, you're supposed to, with that pouch at the front, you're supposed to steal a coin from a poor widow and place in the scrotum along with a magical sign or a staff. That will ensure that that sack will never be empty of money. But it also ensures that when you die, if someone you give permission to take your bottom half, shall we say, you've got one already on you they can take, so they leave yours intact. Now, why I'm showing you this, I haven't got a clue. I'd never ever heard of it. But when we were channel surfing last night, I came across and watched a bit of an old episode of QI, and it was on there, and I'm like, what? Yes, there are wee ones. One that particularly sticks in my mind is who was the president of the Tattoo Club of Great Britain. It was a guy called Lionel Titchener, who had a studio in Oxford. Funny enough, he was also president of the Tattoo Club of Japan, of all places. Now, in the foyer of his studio, he had like a tattoo museum. He had the largest working tattoo gun in the world, which stood about 4 foot tall, that actually worked. I wouldn't like trying to tattoo anybody with it. But he also had various lampshades and items like that made from tanned human skin. Now, most of these had tattoos on them. And what it was, the Japanese, when the prisoners died in the Second World War in the camps, or sometimes even before they died, they used to slice these off of their bodies, the tattoos, and tan the skin. And they'd scrape it down so it's almost translucent, so the light shines through. And they were used in frames, lampshades. Good afternoon, Jack. I mean, yeah, when you think about it, it is, as we once says, it's leather. It's not far different from any other form of tanning, really. Oh, hello. Bloody chat disappeared then. Yeah, Stuart. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It's absolutely ridiculous at the moment. It really is. Yeah. And Well, they've done an update. I don't know whether anybody else is seeing the same on their computer. But when you're going through the process of going into your videos and that's changed a bit. No, it's not, Stuart. I saw the chat and the YouTube feed glitch then.
Yeah, but if he's getting buffering, that could be his internet.
Yeah, if it's buffering. But there's still a lot of issues with a lot of cables all over the country after all these storms for those that have got overground and what have you. Overground, underground, wombling free. I'd be Uncle Bulgaria, wouldn't I? Yeah, Jax, the views and stuff like that, they mess around with all the time, mate, especially when you run a channel like mine. You never know what the genuine figures are. The viewings, I used to moan about viewings disappearing, but after, yes, Tony, this is what they're doing. After looking into it, I realised that I'd made a mistake. And yes, there are plenty of views that get removed as a block, as it were, for what they call toxic views. It's in the rules, it's in their terms of guidance that if someone doesn't watch the video through to a certain point, even if they click the thumbs up, that will register initially, but it will be removed. It's to stop people just going into a video, clicking the thumbs up and then coming out. And also, if you do it multiple times, they'll be removed, and whoever's doing it will usually get problems their end as well. Excuse me, guys. Just got some messages coming in.
You've gone live.
That's from the daughter. I haven't got time to look into that. But Donna, if you're watching, thank you. I'll look into it when I've finished the live. That was just the daughter letting me know about an article she'd seen. Yeah, Tony, you'll find that the chat will freeze. You'll see comments disappearing that isn't being done by a mod or anybody on the channel. If it does start it, you just refresh. That usually sorts it out. Why did I click on that? It looks like the bloody chat might have froze here.
No, nobody's talking.
Who's talking?
Nobody.
Ah. Well, we've only got 24 in here anyway.
We're all just listening to you.
Just started paying for watching their own videos. Yes, exactly, Beardy. And I still think that when this online safety bill goes live, I think a lot of people will see some videos disappear from their backlog. Especially people like me. But this is why I always back them up on the external hard drive, as I've said before. Yep, I can see you, Hunter. No issues. It's just, you just don't know what they're doing half the time. It's bloody ridiculous. I haven't seen too many of yours, to be honest, Bulldog. There was one I found after, I think it was a day that I replied to. But even if I see them the following day, if I don't reply to them, I will always put a heart on there so at least you know I've seen it. If it's something important, then I will bring it up in a video, even if that comment doesn't show. So, Tranquility, good afternoon. Was it evening? No. When does evening actually start?
Sort of 6, 7 o'clock. I think if you remember the episode, Sheldon decided it was pre-evening this time of day. Pre-evening.
Pre-evening, that's it. Pre-evening, isn't it? 5 p.m. All right, Paul, no worries. No worries, mate. I always put it out on Facebook anyway. And I chuck a link to it in the Discords as well, usually. Yeah, but I don't share me out a lot. I leave it to other people because I believe if people think what I do is worth sharing, then they'll do it. You know, I'm not going to ram myself down people's necks just to get subscribers and views. As they say, if the people know they want to come, they'll come. So far, nearly 500 have come. Well, we did have 500 at one point, but that lasted all of the day. Yeah, mine started at about 2 o'clock this morning, Beardy. I had a really, really bad night. I did get a few hours sleep. But I was awake very, very early. My legs were fine, so I just done the usual thing, just laid there and rest. But then the legs started to kick in and I started to get restless, which only keeps Heather awake. So I thought better of it and got up, let her have some rest. But I haven't had a kip today. I did go back to bed for a little while this morning, but didn't sleep. Evening stops when it gets dark. Yeah, we used to say when the street lights go on, Stuart. Street lights are on, it's evening, time to go home. Wouldn't do any damage anyway, Beardy. Yeah, I leave them all up there anyway, Hunter. You know, if I've made a mistake anywhere, I've always apologised for it. If I've got things wrong, I don't see any need to redo them. But yeah, you're welcome to use them for, what can I call it, showing on other channels, which I know people do.
Just don't use it to try and get into a chat as Roger, because it won't work.
Yeah. People have tried to use videos of me to get into live chats to porn bomb and that, and it doesn't work. I know I can see Paul there. How you doing, Mucker?
In case this here bullet is up, I'll not be staying on long way anyway, Roger. Oh, hey, go here, son. Just a quick shout out and at you there. I'm doing rather well. I hope you are all keeping well there.
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Just the fatigue is getting on top of me. But as I said earlier, that's only literally because they've upped my treatment and I wasn't ready for it.
A wee thing there I want to far out. I was listening to you there. This is actually quite good for arthritis, provided nobody is diabetic. Unfortunately, this diabetics can take this. A cupful of apple cider vinegar. Now, it's got written, you can get less in tablet form in Holland Barrett's or any herbal remedy shops. That there.
Yeah. The thing is, I have to be very, very careful what I use.
Yeah.
Now, vinegar, that could definitely upset my blood issues that I've got with the polycythemia.
You've got a thin blood.
And I simply know that because I can remember going back many, many years ago in a pub of sitting there and eating about 20 pickled onions.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? You see most medications, they have up to 70% vinegar extracts in them.
Oh, yeah. But the thing is, I'm on so many different ones here that do so many. I can't even take proper painkillers. All I can take is cocodamol.
Are you another one that's got a drug dealer on speed dial that's called Doctor?
Yeah. Well, that's all they are, isn't it? They're a phone pill dispensing service. That's all they
Yep.
are now, the GPs.
That's exactly all they are. No, you see, if people try this here now, it's before you even have a cup of tea or anything in the morning. You can either do it the two ways, either capsule or a cup full of apple cider vinegar and a teaspoonful of honey daily, and they must stick to it for 6 weeks before they'll actually start feeling any difference. There's only one form of arthritis this doesn't work for, and it's a real bad form. But it also helps a lot of other different things also, and it's good for you.
Yeah, it's sorry, I have trouble typing when I'm yeah.
You're okay, man.
Well, I can't even take antacid tablets.
Oh,
I can't even take them.
man, I'll be so
strong painkillers. The only one I can take is tramadol.
I won't bother with my doctor at all, because I walked into the doctor a lot of years ago. He was signing off a prescription for me before I sat down and got my mouth open.
Well, what I do is I listen to what my consultants want me to take.
Yep, the wee ghost in the back there.
and then I go to the doctor.
Hiya.
And then I go to the doctor and say, look, my consultant wants me to take these. Do a prescription, please.
Oh.
But they've been pissing us about here. We got a new chemist round the corner here, right opposite where the old one was. They've swapped all the prescriptions over to this new one because the other one's shutting down. And that you can't talk to them on the phone. They haven't got an email set up. I had to actually go round there to get my prescription done on the spot. There was some missing. I've been waiting 2 days for them to deliver the rest of it.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I avoid the doctor at all costs because I've just seen enough on the COVID job there where I went and got the first 2 done. I don't know where you've seen the video I did there away earlier at the start of the year where a magnet actually sticks here where I got the jab on my arm.
Yeah, I see several people do that.
I couldn't believe that, or I kicked up with the doctor demanding that I want it removed. And we're not liable for that. That's nothing to do with us because you did that voluntary. No, we were all instructed to go and get it by the government. It was for the better of our health. Anyway, as I said, I'm not going to stay on here long. A wee quick shout out about Monday past. I was in court there on Monday over the incident there outside Corian Police Station, which you've seen, where CJ Audits went in to let them be aware he was going to fly a drone over the station, which he still did and fully legal. Now, they arrested me under obstruction. And why? Because, 1, I was being a witness. 2, the other police officer called for assistance because there's 2 guys outside doing the same. That was myself and Darryl. Now, what were we doing the same? We weren't inside the police station trying to make the police be aware of anything. We weren't flying drones. I was asked to be a witness, which I started recording live streaming I just learned, as civilian journalist is what we all are classed as.
Yeah.
Now and then as you seen there, Constable Dallet come out, blah 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 blah, acting a fuck, kept walking towards me. Didn't like the point that 1, he got called out in the Justice Security Act bullshit where he had lost powers. I had no powers whatsoever. Now he tried to change it to the Section 23 of the MIS, which is the Misuse of Drugs Act. And then come out, mate, I'm searching you under Justice Security. I am confiscating your phones. Whoa, that's seizing my phones. No right to seize my phones. And not only that, they were being aware that I was doing a live stream broadcast. But anyway, in the cell for 3 hours, as you heard throughout that, he actually took me behind a glass wall. We're out of sight of cameras, but didn't realise I had 2 of my admins still recording. They could still see where I was at. And he's trying to make up that I was resisting arrest. Handcuffed at the back, my hands that got there, and he's pulling this arm up there and kicking the handcuffs in to cut my wrist. And then turn around and saying, stop struggling, you're hurting my arm. Whoa, how come there's no charge of that?
Hang on a sec, Paul. People, I just did a test there with that comment I pinned up. There is actually about a 20-second delay between StreamYard and YouTube. That is a huge delay. Sorry, Paul.
No, you grand man. You things to do. It's your channel, Mark. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
don't want
we've
to
got one of my mates over here. He might drop in later, actually. He got his phones seized. I think it was a week or two ago. No, he's not an auditor. He doesn't usually go out filming and get involved in stuff. Now, they seized both his phones, which we know they do. They're going to hold them to inconvenience you. But he went back to him and said, look, I am not a well person. I said, if you look in that phone, he said, I will show you that all my doctor's appointments, all my medications, everything else on there, I need to have that information with me at all times. And they wouldn't even give him the SIM card out of it to get his, and he's got no other documents because he does it all on his phone. And they would, I said, the only thing you can do is go to court and force them to do it.
I would have to go looking for a bit of paper here. Marty Blackbird done a nice one there on YouTube there. And it's about the seizure of phones. Like, if you give them 28 days, that's ample time for them to do their work, and then you go down to the court, you apply under pace in the court for seizure of your own property back. You take that down into the police station, you hand it over. I can't remember the proper English term of it because it's different from here. But Marty Blackbird absolutely breaks that down to a T.
Yeah, there was a case because I've quite often told people it absolutely set a precedent for it. One guy did take the police to court for it.
Yeah.
They gave him his phones back eventually, but what he was doing was suing them for hanging on for them for too long. They had them for over 2 years. And the judge said, absolutely, 60 days is more than enough time to take any information they want off. And he ordered the police there and then to go and get the bloody phones, bring them to the court and give them back to the gentleman.
You see, let's order here what you can do yourself. Go down to the court and get the paperwork under pace to seize your own property back. Then you take that straight down to the police station. You hand it over. You give them 5 or 10 minutes to get that your property into your hand. For if they do not get that into your hand, that's contempt of court.
Yep.
Anyway, but I just want to jump on here quick. I'm heading out here on a wee minute or two. Nathan's coming around for me.
All right, mate. No worries.
I just wanted to jump on.
Yeah,
my
no worries,
apologies
mate.
for not
I
getting
quite
you
often
up
drop in with a comment to yourself and Nathan and Mrs. Nathan as well, obviously.
Oh, the whole lot of them. I'm sorry I didn't get you posted up one time. I just get busy there for a minute or two and everything like that. My head motor.
No worries, mate.
You posted
no
up
worries.
there at 4:30, so I did. Sorry, it wasn't for 4 o'clock, my man.
Well,
sorry about that.
They sent mine at 4:30.
Do me one favour. You see, if you ever are going to live stream there and it's going to be a good, interesting one, give me a wee phone call quick sometime, and I'll make sure that there's set up and all for you to get streamed, because you do have actually a few followers over here, Motor.
Okay, mate. Yep. Oh shit! What have I done here? Oh my god! Hang on. Oh, gee.
Lost the chat.
I just clicked myself out of my own fucking channel. Oh my god!
And there's me. I thought you were computer minded, but anyway.
Anything but, mate. Anything but.
Anyway, bro, I'm not going to confuse you any further. I will let you carry on. The wee goes there in the back. Heller, all our love here from Northern Ireland to you and Roger, Danny, and everybody else. To all the viewers there. Hi all, and I hope you are all doing well. Can I catch you maybe next week sometime there? If not, I'm going to try for Danny on Sunday night. I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, on that, it's going to be me again on Sunday.
No,
Dan's going to see the boys again. He's having a real great time seeing them. He's over the moon with the way everything's gone.
Brilliant.
He said more or less 99% he's going to go and see him again over the weekend.
Well,
so I'll just put one out if anybody wants to drop in.
Roger, if it can happen for me, it can happen for Danny. Like, due to me splitting up with my ex-wife a lot of years back there, I didn't get to see my children, whatnot. I'm not going to get down into this story, but let's just say Darrell's just back in my life there fully as the past 7 years there. And Nathan, after 22 years, is just back in my life a year ago. So it's possible. Anything is possible. And believe you me, I was in bad places.
Well, that's the thing with me. I've never seen mine for 35, 40 years.
Anything's possible, Motor. Anything's possible.
It was by choice at the beginning, and I've left it all up to them. You know, if they want to come and find me, they're more than welcome to.
No, as I say, I'm not going to get into it because the way I look at it, the past isn't the past. I respect who was in the wrong or who was in the right and whatever.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, and I do keep saying it, it's the past that makes us all who we are today.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries.
Anyway, hearts with you all over there, and it's a pleasure. Thank you all very, very, very much.
Shouldn't do that should I?
No, I'm not doing the Nazi. No, I do that. I like to do that there as a sign language for thank you.
Well, actually, the first one like that was Roman, I believe.
Later, completely later, but then again over here, whenever we do see our police service, it is. Anyway, take care of yourself.
All right, Paul.
Over and a pleasure as usual, my friend. And thank
Stay
you.
safe out there, mate.
Wish you all the very, very best of luck. Bye bye for now. If I can get that here.
I think me and Paul are on about the same technical level when it comes to working these bloody things. Oh, yeah, sorry, Smile. I forgot you were in there, mate. Yeah, Paul, always a pleasure, buddy. Holly did put a link in there if you want to follow Paul on Facebook. He's totally against the corruption that's going on in Northern Ireland at the moment. And believe me, it is some corruption. You think our police are bad? They're probably on par with the Met at the best with their corruption. So it was nice to see another ex-Met go down the other day for, shall I say, perversions rather than upset the censors. But I don't think 12 years was enough, to be honest. Not on a life sentence.
Not for the number of offences.
Not for the number of... Exactly.
Everything was concurrent. This concurrent with that. And no.
Is that breaking news, wee one? Boris Johnson joining GB. Oh, God, that's going to be a right fucking giggle. Is he still a serving MP? Do you know what? I don't know. Then how can he join the GB News? If that's right, that's going to cause some eruptions. Not as if there ain't enough already. Oh, shit. There goes me fag papers.
Boris Johnson, former Prime Minister, to host GB News show.
Oh, yes, apparently. My lovely assistant is looking it up.
Johnson, who stepped down as an MP earlier this year, will work for the news channel as a presenter, programme maker and commentator.
Yeah, I didn't even know he stepped down. I really didn't. I look at so much every day. But that is going to... Oh, he's likely to come out with anything, isn't he? Was he ever a serving MP? No, I think he just was one, Rippy. I think it was... what do they call it? He identified as one. Which is as good as saying pretend to be, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Well, Beardy. That's just yeah, true. I to be honest, Stuart, I don't watch a lot of GB News, if I'm honest. I will look if something's come up and there's an article there that someone's pointed me to. If I see a headline, I will go and have a look to see what they say about it. But, you know, I don't just go looking at them for the sake of looking at them. As I say, I always look for the main headlines and then I look behind them basically to see why they headlines are there and what made them, you know. Oh, here's Grandma's house again. Yes, it's very fascinating. But yeah, I would just like one reporter, when the MPs start beating around the bush when they're asked a question, I would literally ask them a yes or no question, yes or no answer to it. And if they don't answer and they just go into their normal spiel like they normally do, I'd say, fuck you, you're off. You're not going to bother answering questions. No point having you here. Go away. Talk TV is actually on Freeview now as well in the evenings, I believe, Rippy. I think I've seen it in the listings there. Yes, they have got a massive funding, Smiler. More so than a lot of the online ones. But as I say, yeah, I've always been honest. I do watch some of mainstream media, especially the headlines, to see what's coming up. People still send me links and emails. Unfortunately, with links, unless you're a moderator, you can't put them in here. But I do get to see them and I do check them out. It's just a security thing that, well, most people should do, really. Yeah, exactly, Hunter. That's all I'd want to hear from any of them politicians when they're asked a question is just yes or no. Not the bullshit surrounding it or deflections and smoke screens. You've been asked a question, it's a yes or no. Why can't they answer? Nothing. There's no recovery process going on Grandma's house. And health isn't improving any iota.
Hang on. Isn't it Grandma's house?
Yeah, it's one of the
daughter. No, came on about a daughter.
Was it? I can't remember. In fact, they've actually come out now and said, was it? I think it was today. That they're now looking to put things in place because there's going to be, and they've admitted there's going to be a big rise in people with heart problems and stuff like that. They've actually come out and said that. And this, I believe, is one of the reasons that they're putting all this thing out where you can come in and get tested, stuff like that for this, that, and the other, because they want to keep an eye on what is happening. They want a database of it. Sorry, Grandma's house. Honestly, my memory is all over the place.
It's because Grandma's house came on at the same time you were having problems with a couple of idiots. So the fact that it was all going on that day when she came on, that's why you've confused it. So
sorry about that. But yeah, the health scares they're putting out now, and literally everything that they want to test for. Well, not everything, but a lot of it is to do with what people like me and many others have been talking about for a few years now. Yeah, Smiler, I don't do a lot of reporting on it, mate, because the only thing I'm interested in is what's happening inside our shores, what they do to each other out there. I don't give a flying fuck, to be honest. I've got that way about it now. Same with Russia and Ukraine. Rubber Chuck, good afternoon. But yeah, you know, everybody's got opinions on it. I won't say I haven't, but in case I'm wrong, you know, I'm not going to deliberately come out and offend anybody. I don't support either side in any of them, unlike most of our government, I think. But why do they think they can achieve anything out there when they can't even fucking achieve anything here? This is what pisses me off. You know, they're chucking billions and billions of pounds out that way. They're giving them everything they want. And what they're giving them basically is stuff that we could do with here. Yeah, exactly, Smiler. I've always said that. Foreign aid, the people that are actually having this money robbed off of them, at least we should have a say in where it's going. I mean, we know it doesn't go to where it's supposed to go. We know most corrupt governments suck a lot of it up. $7 million rolled this thing up. Yeah, that's it, Stuart, and that's why Big Pharma haven't allocated, or the British government hasn't bought nowhere near so much this time, because they know it's going down. They know it's going to drop. People have, well, the government themselves and Big Pharma have put the truth out there. You know, hi, Bittersweet. Yeah, they've put it out there themselves, yet they still expect people to take it. What's going to happen when this debate comes up about the excess deaths? Yeah, I mean, Brigham stood up there and tried to open the debate, and what was there? 5 people in the house that were interested enough to turn up. But there again, it was a Friday afternoon, and they probably all wanted to fuck off down the pub, didn't they?
Friday afternoons are for.
Or their subsidised bar.
Well, of course it would be the subsidised bar, because it's half price or cheaper.
Yeah, it's only parts of them, Smiler, that have filed for bankruptcy, especially in Pfizer. And it is to do with that side of it, I believe. I mean, the way they're dishing out pills, they're never going to go bankrupt. Never. And there are obviously other companies that are producing shit under license as well. You know, I personally don't think they'd ever come out with anything that's a cure for anything, because patient cured is a customer lost, isn't it? As they say. Yeah, there are a lot of new names, and a lot of it's being bought out under new names, Smiler.
Well, if the company doesn't exist anymore, you can't sue them.
Well, this is it. And as I've said before, there's still the Damages by Vaccine Act 1976 is still in place and can be used, but they have restricted on what you can actually claim and how much. And you have to prove a hell of a lot. Basically, you've got to be on death's door before they'll accept your claim. But under the table, there are a lot of compo payments going out in America. But there again, we know their law is a lot different to ours. No, exactly, Stuart. With everything they can say they can do now, they can cure this, they can stop that. How come they haven't got one for the common cold after all this year, all these years? It's no different to any other virus. Just throwing that into the mix.
Oh, I forgot I'm not plugged in.
Yeah, they done some weird experiments with mosquitoes, and they when well, seagulls was the one. I can remember down in Cornwall there was some project where they were going to try and get the seagulls gay or something. It was... Grandma, I'll be totally honest. I'm not that political minded. What I actually see and take in is what they're saying, what they're doing, and I try and put it out as what could we, not layman's terms, but in certain terms most people can understand rather than what they are saying. I don't go deep into politics. I don't read up on politics. And to be honest, I've only ever voted the once in my 62 years, and that was for Brexit. That was the only reason I ever voted. But I'm learning little bits around it. Obviously we can never trust any of them. I've learned that over quite a few years. But it's what they're doing now has never really affected my life that much, and that's why I haven't bothered with it. Yes, I lived through the miners' strikes and what have you. But again, it never really affected me. What went off around them was never done around me. I was a factory worker at the time, if I remember rightly. But yeah, there's been so much that's happened in, what can I say, about the last 10 years that has started to affect the way my life runs. Mainly financially. I mean, when I moved from the West Country, I halved my hours and tripled my wage. But ever since then, any successive job I have, I've never, ever had wages that high. They've always gone lower and lower and lower, which goes against everything the government says happens. And unfortunately, I'm in the position now where I'm on benefits simply because of my health. Believe me, I want to work, and I did try to work, and the doctors said no, it's just too dangerous. So, and as I said many a time, that comes hard to a working man, especially one who's done physical jobs all his life. Afternoon, Para. Yeah, I hate it, but as I quite often say as well, I've paid a lot into the system, but I've got to fight tooth and nail to get any of it back, same as most people do. And this is why I'm against people can just walk into this country and start claiming the same as me when they haven't earned a fucking penny in here and haven't paid a penny into the system. To me, that's just wrong. I mean, some of the rules Australia has, I'd love to see it. You want to come to this country, even on holiday, extended holiday, you've got to have a sponsor or you've got to have the money to sustain yourself. We're only a small country. We should be a lot easier to protect. You know? I mean, you look at all the insects, shit like that have started to appear magically from places all around the world here. You go to Australia and they're hoovering out the seams of your bags and looking for all sorts. Yeah, Tony, same as mate. All my jobs have been physical jobs. This is the longest in my life that I've ever sat at a table to do anything. It's mind numbing. I'll be honest, it can be mind numbing. And this is why I do this, because I don't just want to sit around and do nothing, because I'll just get stagnant. Have you seen the government want to give Palestinians benefits? Yeah. They want to bring a load of them over here, Hunter. And now they're on about importing seasonal workers again, fruit pickers and that. Well, why don't they make some of these fuckers that are already here do it? Make them pay for their fucking living. All right, Murph?
Yeah, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
You're talking about the fruit pickers. I mean, a lot of my mates are lorry drivers, and they're saying that they all they did is they opened up the visa system, and it's all now. There's no English spoken in any of the lorry parks.
Well, what they do over here is, I think it's 40,000 visas they've just handed out for next year. Now, what they do is the farm that employs them rents accommodation to them, usually old ramshackle caravans or cabins or something. So that takes a lot of their wages straight off them. They charge them for electric. They won't let them have transport. So they're stuck there. Everything they got to get is through them. And to me, that is not it's slavery. It's just slavery with a small wage. They should
That's what they do here. It's exactly what they do here. You know, they bring in the workers, turn around, give them housing, they give them 3 meals a day, and pay them absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
and then they charge them for visas, they charge them for their airfares, they charge them for everything. So they've got a debt as soon as they arrive.
Yeah, instead of taking these idiots out of the hotels, sticking them in like rented accommodation, and then still keep. Well, if they're physically fit to work, they're physically fit enough to get all the way here and across the fucking channel, then surely they're physical enough to go out and pick a few fucking apples or whatever, you know, and make them use that to pay for their accommodation.
But you don't really want to start giving them knives and things that they need to cut and shit like that. You understand? Yeah. That'd probably be one of my provisos.
They'd force one of us to do it. Oh, there's a fruit picking job there. You got to go for that, rather than get benefits.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look back in the 60s and 70s, it was the holiday for the East End of London to go down and do hop picking in Kent.
Yeah, I used to go out spud picking. I done strawberry picking one year.
Yeah,
you know,
just the class of the summer holiday. Yeah,
you know, and there was a touring community that used to go around doing it.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of the hippies used to do it back in the day. Yeah, man, go and pick some fruit during the day and get wrecked in the evening. You know,
that's it. Yeah, exactly. That sounds like fun to me. My back probably wouldn't be able to do it now, but it sounds like fun.
Yes, we won the NHS medical records. Now, I've been looking back into that. I can't remember the way around it, but you can opt out of them sharing your data by contacting your GP, funny enough, if you ever get to see one. But their receptionist can do it for you. You can opt out of that, because once that actually goes live, the police, the council, even local businesses will be able to access your medical records and data without your permission.
Your employer.
Anybody will be able to. Yeah. They will still request you for it if you've blocked it, but you can deny it. Obviously, it's your personal records. You're under no obligation to share it. And this new survey that they're sending out letters for now, it's not just slight pockets of areas they're doing it. There's quite a lot of the country being covered by it. I put a letter out the other day in one of the videos that probably most people have seen. That again is going into the same system. So I did find out that if you've opted out of the NHS data sharing, that data should be safe, because it is going. But hey, we know no data is safe from them now.
Just big pharma then grabs all of that information and then starts profiling. And once they start profiling, then you suddenly find that everyone's on tablets like they're going out of fashion. You know what I mean?
Oh, that illness is quite popular at the moment, right? We'll keep that one going because we're making a lot of money on it.
Exactly. You know,
like they do with the free seasonal flu jabs.
it's like I had a mate of mine.
Over the years, they start offering it earlier and earlier, so there's more of it being taken.
Well, I had a mate of mine the other day who went and said, "Oh, look at me." She said, "I had my flu jab and my COVID jab on the same day." I went, "You did what?" She said, "I had my flu jab and my COVID jab." I went, "Are you some kind of idiot or something?" She went, "What?" Well, there's nothing wrong with that. And then for the last 5 days, she's been going, "Oh, I don't feel right. I don't feel well. I don't feel everything." And then I read the Daily Mail. I don't take the Daily Mail as my Bible, but the US authorities have said, do not take your COVID and your flu jab on the same day.
We won. Yes, I believe you're right. Eventually, when I lovingly call Skynet goes live,
Oh, Skynet, yeah, bloody hell.
we will have no control whatsoever over our personal data, and that is why I don't try and give too much of it out. I don't know whether they've signed over to the WHO contract yet. Because that's got to be put before sausage fingers, because obviously that's got to be by royal decree, because that takes away a lot of our sovereignties in certain situations, same as the WEF.
I thought we're due to sign in December, aren't we? December, I think, is when the due date is signature.
I'm not sure. I know the two bills, the energy bill and the online safety bill.
That's passed. That's had royal decree.
Yeah. There's another one as well. I can't remember what it was now. It was something to do with a financial institution or something, or the way financial institutions work. I don't go a lot into that. I don't dive into that. The financial world is just too complicated for me.
It's all offshore accounts.
I've got a tenner in my wallet. I know how much I've got to spend.
Yeah, well, no, with the banks and everything else, they've all got offshore accounts, and they handle terrorist accounts, drug accounts. They handle everything. They handle everything and anything. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's like I've said before on the census, the CIA have access to all that details and data. You know,
but if you've got a mobile phone, they've got everything they want.
Oh yeah. Well, they'll have a job with that one because I never connect it to the internet. And it's an old one, so a lot of the little tracking devices and shit that goes into them isn't on there. And that's specifically why I keep these models.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the older ones don't have location sharing, whereas everything else has location sharing.
Yeah,
you know?
The only thing that'll do, they'll be able to ping off towers.
Yeah,
which they're only going to put within quarter.
They've got to triangulate though, haven't they? They've got to triangulate on the towers in order to put you within sort of like 300 meters of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they can only go off your last call. It'll ping that one out. It's not a constant signal,
right?
Because I'm on 3G on both of mine, and that one will be dropping down to 2G because I'm not having it 4 or 5G because that's when they can install apps without you knowing.
Yeah.
Into even them old ones, and have access to your data. So that one, my personal phone, will never work on them systems.
Well, they're using the Pegasus program in the UK and here, you know, and I mean they actually can locate you down to 100 meters just by your mobile number.
Yeah, I mean I don't know where our nearest tower is actually. Where's our nearest tower to here?
What?
Mobile tower.
Over by the flat.
Oh, over there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so we're within probably 400 yards, 500 yards of the nearest one.
There might even be one closer, but I know there's that one.
But even being that close, I can only get, like, I don't know where you can see that at the top. I'll only get 2 to 3 bars on the signal strength. That's terrifying, isn't it?
I've got the towers on top of my building. There's some towers on top of my building. Yeah,
that would have probably been a better one for Mikey to do my logo with, to be honest. because it's got more of the beard in it, although the beard and the hair is not as long. Who are you asking who I'm friends with me?
Tony Williams.
Good evening, Mrs. W. How are you?
Tony's been around for a while.
Good, thank you. How's you? Are you all settled in after the move?
Settled in. I'm now I look to my right rather than to my left because my chair is now in the other corner. I just did my first rant and rave, but I knew it was Roger's live, so I didn't upload it yet. I'll upload it later.
Yeah, I had a bit of a rant the other day, but
Well, mine was just on the online safety bill, and then we've got so many children going to food banks every day, and so many children dying at the hands of their parents through neglect, and all of this, and they think that this and the NSPCC are talking about it, and they do it. I went ballistic. I went ballistic. This online safety bill. I just went.
Well, I've got them on the whiteboard down there and scattered all over the desk.
Yeah.
I had a load of notes drawn up for a video. And I just went, oh, yeah, Rishi's been in power for a year now. All right, let's get on to him then. And I just didn't stop.
I know, yeah. I saw you on the Rishi 1 year. Yeah.
I think the last one I went into one like that around was Hancock.
Oh.
That I went right into. I'm surprised the video didn't get taken down actually, because I accused him of fucking all sorts.
Well, I think this one will be taken down because it's pretty much it just rips apart the social services, the whole of the government thing, and now this online safety bill is for children. It's not. It's no. To take people like us out.
There's about 15-20% of it that yes, I would agree that is needed.
Yeah, but they go to the dark web. But they go on the dark web.
Yeah, not just for the kids. I mean for adults as well. That there's about 20% there that I believe should be in place. Absolutely.
Well, like that copper the other day who got 13 life sentences for grooming kids, online, pretending to be a 15-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean that one he got a life sentence and he got 12 years minimum for nothing other than videos and pictures.
Yeah.
But he was doing it. He was young. He was only 24. He was doing it while he applied for the police, and he carried on doing it while he was in the police.
You know what I mean? Crazy.
And that's a Met one again. One of the Met.
I just don't understand what's happened to the morals.
Yeah, I mean, Smiler says it perfect there. Hancock's come out and said he wants immunity from prosecution over the COVID inquiry.
Well, we can't have it. No.
Fucking
no.
chance.
No, that doesn't happen. He killed two. Look. He could have carried on and done his thing, but what he did with shipping old age pensioners with COVID out of the hospitals into care homes, and then not allowing the families to go and visit them. And
then there's WhatsApp messages out there between them all agreeing to it, saying, "Yeah, go on."
Yeah, and then turns around, and once all this is over, then he turns around to the care workers and goes, "If you don't take the vaccine, we're going to sack you all." So 50,000 people left. So he got them to be the policeman, and then just to get rid of them, he said, "You've got to have a vaccine," and 50,000 left.
And the way the NHS staff were treated. Now, I said this to the nurses up there the other day because they're great, but they've always been great. They do work hard. They do work long hours. The biggest stir is in the management. Even the nurses don't want what they're doing, but most of them need their jobs.
Of course. They're just like you and I. They're just like you and I. We have to. We need security in our lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they put up with it, and I always tell them up there. They know my YouTube channel's here. I dare say one or two of them watch when I do my videos. But that they know that I'm not against them. I'm against the people that are paying them, as it were.
We've never been against the nurses. No, we've never been against the nurses. That's not all the doctors for that matter. Not even the doctors. It's once you get above the doctors, and that's when you start getting into a situation where it's being managed from afar. You know what I mean?
Well, yes, Hunter. I mean, they've already proved, and this was a court case for, I think it went beyond Crown Court. Absolutely, there was fraudulent dealings. I'll sort you out with Tony in a bit, darling. I've just had a thing from. They've already proved that some of the dealings around, oh, Mikey,
Right.
were fraudulent. Absolutely. They've already agreed and said, yes, there has been money that's been taken under fraud, shall I say. But who's being held accountable for it? They know damn well who's fucking done most of it.
Well, where's Dame
Who's
Morn?
been up in court and held accountable?
Where is Dame Morn now?
Oh, she's in some bloody foreign island paradise somewhere on a new carbon boat, isn't she?
She doesn't need to come back, does she? She doesn't need to come back to face the music.
Well, to be honest, with a body like that, she wouldn't have needed to nick the money in the first place. So, especially when you see the state of her husband. But there you go. That's another story.
You are truly evil, my man. You are truly evil.
But I'll be honest. Do you remember the one that was in the press of her leant up against the side of the yacht?
Yeah.
Now, I saw that before I even knew who she was. Someone's got a loop going on there. And I looked at it and I thought, that's not a young lady, but it's not an old lady. That is quite fit. And then I looked into what the story was connected with it. I thought, well, it doesn't really matter how good she looks, but no, thanks.
Well, I mean, it's like that the dog walker for Boris who got made a day. And even when she walked into the Lords, she turned all the
Somebody got two streams open there.
No, hang on. It might be the what's it called? The noise cancellation or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm getting an echo.
I'll check mine now. Yeah, echo.
1, 2. That's it. Well done, mate.
That's it.
Yeah, because that 23-year-old who got made a day, and when she was executed.
It's back.
Well, hang on, I'll mute and just check to see if it's me.
Right. Are you hearing me all right, Mikey?
Yeah, I mean, you're better now. Switch that stupid echo cancellation off.
I'm still hearing an echo here. What the fuck's going on?
Weird.
Right.
Right, if I mute my thing.
Yeah. 1, 2. 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, it's you, Mikey.
Let's try. Because there's something else coming up.
What's that about that 23-year-old who actually got collared?
Well, you're just.
I'm just seeing if we've got echo, so I'm just telling the story. If we've got echo, I can't hear echo now, so I think you might have solved the problem. I don't know, Roger can hear me, can you?
Yeah, it's not clear. Yeah, there's the echo still there.
Yeah, it's still there, still on it.
So I got the laptop open over there as well.
Earpiece and speakerphone and things like that.
Yeah, I've got nothing else open here. That's stopped now.
I'm on my phone.
It's stopped. Huh.
What's the nonsense?
I don't know whether it's Murph, because Murph seems to create a loop.
It's always me, Mrs. W.
No, he was fine then.
No, look, I muted down, and it was the case that there was still an echo, so I know it's not me.
No, it is me. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
change.
it's definitely Mikey.
I think we're all right now. We're okay now, are we?
I
that
can
working
just
now?
hear a bit of squelching, but yeah, there's no echo.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
She's behind the phone, she is.
Stop repeating what he says. It's sounding like an echo.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Is it better when I take the headphones out?
Yes.
Right. So it could be that then.
Yeah, see, I don't use them. I've got a set there with the mic on, and I've got a dumb set down there. But literally, I've got the mic up here, and I've got a pair of stereo speakers down there. Don't have a problem.
Is that better now?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my earphones then for some reason. It never does it on dance. I don't know why.
He's got about 5 computers.
But see, Dan, he has a lot of audio problems.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why, because he's got a hell of a setup there.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably the reason. There's too much there.
Yeah.
Whereas mine, okay, yeah, it's a powerful computer, but everything else is basic.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'm just on my phone.
I just figured out that everything. Look, I spent about £5,000 on kit. Trust me, I've got a box full of kit over there, and I end up using my phone all the time.
Yeah,
because as soon as I start plugging cables in and start doing this and doing that and doing that, it became ridiculous. I was doing live streams, and it was literally I'd get 3 minutes and then it cut.
I was just figuring out how much what I've got in front of me has cost me.
Yeah.
I've got a £24 microphone with a homemade stand, 14 quid's worth of phantom power supply, an £8 camera, my 2 ring lights. I got from one was the granddaughter broke and give me an eye repaired. The other one came for 2 quid from a charity shop.
Yeah.
And everything else I got here has been given to me. Well, except for the laptop. Well, that was given to me as well because Heather gave me that.
Well, I used this to record earlier.
Well, most of my recording out is done on my phones, but I've got sports cameras. There's GoPros in there. I've got one of them. I've got a twin studio lighting rig there, rechargeable. Yeah. Dan very kindly gave me them because I was struggling with the light when I look at the other camera.
Oh, we do, yeah.
Come in this
way. You need what they call a hair light.
Yeah. The computer was built and given to me.
Do you find with your hair being so light, Roger, that you struggle with the lighting more?
In here, mate, it's bloody terrible because literally where the camera is, 8 inches behind that is the back window. Now the sun comes up there.
Yeah.
So
my hair gives me so much chip. It just reflects all the bloody time.
I do my videos in the mornings, obviously.
Yeah.
So I've got the bright sunlight coming in there. It's bouncing off the walls because they're like a silk. I've got a bloody great mirror on the wall over there that picks them up. So even when the light's up, I have to draw the curtain and put the lights on. And then if I'm doing like today, it's still daylight out, but what main light is coming in through that window behind me, which whites out behind me. That's why we always have that window curtain shut.
Yeah, you'll love this book that I've got, Roger.
Galloping sausage.
I had a couple of really dark memes along them lines on my phone. I've never had the balls to post them. I really haven't. It's my dark sense of humour, shall I say.
I've just been reading some World War I poetry. Because I got that the other day as well.
Oh, that'd be pretty good, actually, I'd say.
Well, I found a poem called The Deserter, and it's only 12 lines long, but it's really powerful.
Yeah.
It's about what it's like for soldiers being in the firing squad for a deserter.
Yeah. Right, go ahead.
It says, I'm sorry I done it, Major. We bandaged the livid face and led him ere the one sun rose to die his death of disgrace. The bolt heads locked to the cartridge, the rifles steady to rest. As cold stock nestled at colder cheek and foresight lined on the breast. Fire, called the sergeant major. The muzzles flamed as he spoke, and the shameless soul of a nameless man went up in cordite smoke.
Very, very, very deep.
Yeah.
But I mean, there must have been a lot of black humour in that as well. I mean, given up they were going over the trenches every day, you know, I mean, there must have been some black humour in some of the poems that they were writing. Poetry was very strong in those days.
There was bound to be when you think, you know, everybody says, "Oh yeah, I've read about war, I've seen it on the movies, in documentaries," but when you look at some of them documentaries, especially from the Great War.
Yeah.
You can't imagine, you know, just walking down to say hello to your buddy and passing bits of bodies poking out the side of the trench. And you know, unless you were there, you can't say you understand.
Well, I was just reading one. I think it's called Following the Dead Man or something. And it's all about a soldier thinking he's following his mate down the trench. And then when he turns around the corner, his mate's actually hunched over with his head forwards. And when he approached him, puts his hand on his shoulder, half his bloody head's missing. Yeah. And it was actually his ghost leading into him.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, it's the only book I've read on recent modern conflicts was Don't Cry for Me, Sergeant Major.
Yeah.
Very good book. Yeah, very good book. Yeah.
Literally because I had some good mates out there that were out there. And some of the stuff in there, I mean, it's years ago I read the book, but they stick in your mind.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? What one squaddy was there? I think it was either a mine or a shell. But he had his foot blown off. And he's screaming and shouting on the ground, Sarge, I've lost my foot. He said, "No, son, it's over there."
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, did you hear what they told the Argentinian prisoners? It's fucking hilarious. A lot of them are Roman Catholic, aren't they? The Argentinians. So on a Sunday, they've got the Gurkhas guarding them, and they brought in a padre to give them their Sunday mass. And some bright spark told them the Gurkhas were there, and this padre was going to read them their last rites, and the Gurkhas were going to fucking eat them. That was hell up in this camp. But you know, some of the stories in there, there's some serious ones, you know, but some of the ones like that stick in my mind.
Yeah.
I just remember Max Hastings. I remember Max Hastings in the Globe, and he arrived in Port Stanley, and he walked in, and there were a pile of SAS boys on the floor, and he turned around and he kicked one of the SAS boys out of the way. I want to get to the bar. And he got fucked out the window.
Well, there was a great, what was it? The Great Port Stanley Crapper Shatterer.
Yeah.
This was fucking hilarious. There's only one public toilet that was in Port Stanley at the time. And basically, it was a corrugated tin hut with two shitters in it. Now, it had a flush and everything. But what they didn't realise is when you flushed it, it went down about 90 yards of pipe straight out to sea. And a fucking wave hit the other end of this pipe, and it'd been blocked for about 2 weeks. The poor bastard sat on the pan. Whoosh! The pressure from the wave at the other end of the pipe just threw 2 weeks' worth straight back up the pants.
I went to the
Whether that was true or not, I don't know. It is in the book, and someone else has recited that one to me who was over there. So.
Well, I was stationed at Mount Pleasant for a couple of months in 2009 or 2010, and in the naffy at night, there's a group of Fijian lads sat in the corner, and the paras had just come down to the island for an exercise, and a young para went up to one of the Fijian lads and said, "Move, I want to sit there." And he said, "No, we're sitting here." And he said, "I don't care, we're parachute regiment. If we tell you to move, you move." So this Fijian lad stood up. So the para punched him, and the Fijian lad picked the lad up by the throat and headbutted him that hard, his nose was touching his lip. And next minute, it was just an all-out bar brawl.
Well, I'll tell you what, Stuart, you actually say that. As you know, I don't drink now. and I haven't got it anymore because I left it in a pub that's closed now. But I actually had. It was like a pottery pint mug, stamped as an official pint, with the Falklands crest and everything on it, and it was brought back by my sister from over there. And I used to keep it down my local pub behind the bar. When I left, the pub was still open. I did mean to go back and get it at some point. But when I did go back, the pub had been closed and had been turned back into a house.
I would actually say that my channel name is Paras in the Philippines, and I do agree with you. Paras are a bit thick when it comes to picking on Fijians. You know,
especially the youngsters.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you know, I'm married to an Asian woman, and I know exactly how strong the Fijian boys are.
We had, because I was Remy, and when we were in Iraq, we had a Fijian vehicle mechanic, which was really, as you know yourself, that's really unusual for the Fijians to go into the Remy and stuff.
Yeah, they normally have poles rather than wheels for theirs.
Well, he was only about 5'4", so he's tiny compared to us. But he played for the Army rugby team as well, and he was the loveliest bloke you could ever meet.
Yeah. Until you got him on the pitch.
Yeah. Well, I remember one day he walked up behind me and he tapped me on the shoulder, so I turned round and I saw someone putting the head down because we had the desert bush hats on.
Yeah.
And he put his head down and I went, "You're right, Will." And he just looked up with this massive grin and went, "How did you know?" I went, "Well, who the fuck else is it going to be?"
Stood there like a camo mushroom.
Yeah.
Well, he said to me one day, "Do you want me to get you some gear?" I was like, "What are you on about?" He said, "Some horse tranquilizer." I was like, "No." Anyway, aye, good lad. he said, I know you. I can talk to you now. You're not an idiot.
Yeah. I mean, I was a civvy, but I used to regularly go up to Tidworth and go in the block and just kip up there and party with the lads for a weekend. We had the manageress of the NAFI. I can't remember what her name was now. Beardy will remember it, this sort of thing from up there. It was always cider. If you wanted something to take back to your kip, it was cider. And the manageress used to come round, walk the hallway at 6 o'clock in the morning, and there'd be all these crates out there with these empty bottles. And she used to take them all back for us.
We used to go out to America, so I mean, my whole back garden was kitted out with all the American barbecues and everything that you needed. You know, the lights and everything that you could get from America at the time. And
I used to just ride in, mate. The guards used to know me because I used to be there so rare. I'd just wave as I rode through the gate.
Bunty, yes, I was Remy until 2012, I think. I left.
Most of my lot, they were. I mean, I'm going back 70s, 80s. They were 22nd engineers. Tidworth. My cousin was in the Paras. He was in 3 Para.
My uncle got assigned to the Paras because he was RLC.
Royal Logistics.
Yeah, for the it was when they were going out for the invasion of Iraq in the Second Gulf, and because his mile and a half times and that were still like 9.5 minutes, even though he was turning 50, he got assigned to the Paras. He actually turned 50 the day they went over the border.
Hold on, Hunter. Yeah, I mean, Dave, he joined the Paras because he wanted to join SAS. That was his ultimate goal. But obviously, at 6'8", he was absolutely instantly rejected because he just stood out in the crowd. He was just too tall. And they did say that was the only reason they rejected him. And they'd rather tell him right from the front, and rather than put him all through it and pay for it and everything and then reject him. So they told him right from the start, not a chance. You just stand out too much. But yeah, I mean, the guy was absolutely fucking huge. You know, there was an ounce of wasted space on him, shall I say.
Well, there's actually a line in Ultimate Farce where Lawrence Fox is in it, and he gets assigned to Red Troop, And they're saying, why do you keep picking on this guy? And I said, because he's too tall and I don't like people that stand out in my regiments.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I did watch. I mean, I'm going back. I think this was on during lockdown, actually, because I couldn't imagine myself watching it anyway. Now, I always remember the film Bravo 20. Yeah.
I've got it on DVD upstairs.
What was it? Was it McGregor in it or somebody in the film?
Sean Bean.
That's it, Sean Bean. Now, I actually saw it was a 2-hour documentary on that.
Yeah.
Now, the reporters actually went out there and interviewed the people that were involved in it.
Yeah, it's called The Real Bravo 20.
Yeah, where the sheep farmers went down the wadi and discovered them. There was no firefight. He said that they were down there and they run away as soon as they saw us and the sheep.
Yeah.
And the real story is nothing like that bloody film whatsoever.
It's not about running away. It's about stop yourself being caught. You know, it's about stop raising the alarm, stop getting caught.
Yeah,
retreat.
I was just giving the comparison to what they said is the true story.
I know, well, it had to be embellished. It
Oh, right. It was totally fictional, mate.
Yeah.
It was totally fictional.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you're on an evac situation, you've got to stay out of contact with anyone. So if you have to move, and the whole art of it is not getting caught. So you move.
You know, I know the regime. Like anything that comes out of you while you're there, it came in with you, it goes out with you, and it's mainly escape and evade when it goes tits up and you're on your own to a rendezvous point, you know, or a pickup point.
But I do agree with you. It's a load of bollocks. Yeah, it is a load of bollocks. You know.
Stubberstar, good afternoon, mate. Well, good evening now, near enough. Well, it is good evening, yeah. 20 to 6. What am I fucking talking about?
It's millions of pounds worth of bollocks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, there you go. Look, he's a storyteller, and in every generation and every culture and everything, there's a storyteller, and someone tells a story.
Yeah.
That's how we got the Bible. That's how we got the Quran. That's how we got this. And we got everything. Someone told a story, and it got embellished.
Yeah, but
look at Chris Ryan.
Nobody's ever put out, other than that documentary, as far as I can see, the truth around it. You know, I'm not distracting from the fact, yes, they were tortured and they did have a real bad time.
It's an inconvenient truth.
Yeah. Well, look at the Chris Ryan. Because he spent so long on his own to do that escape and evasion, there's no one to contradict his story.
No.
So he could have said, well, and he's made a lot of money from it. But he's also written a lot of novels and stuff. And to be fair, they're really good novels.
They're not bad. Yeah, he's a good storyteller, as I say. You know.
Yeah. I quite like the Boy Soldier series that he did. That was good.
Yeah, Stuart B put there Chris Ryan's version was nearer the truth. To be honest, I haven't read it, Stuart.
Happy Friday, Stepper Style.
I did have it here, and I started to read it, but I don't know what I did with it. It might be in one of the boxes upstairs, actually. But I was just pointing out the total difference in the two. You know, it's, as Mikey says, it's embellishment. It's like what was the Brad Pitt one, Fury with the tanks.
Yeah. But that was based on a true story again. That was based on a true story.
Absolutely, it was like that.
Well, that's why they say based on a true story, isn't it?
Yeah. And there were people that committed suicide because of the situation they were in, especially more Americans than British when they were injured. Obviously, the trace around it just don't happen in that. But it showed the horrors of it. And okay, there was a lot that weren't taken prisoner for certain reasons. You know, mainly because, as in that one, he hated them. The bloke had done wrong to the normal kids and that. So he took them out.
Yeah. The one
with the phosphorus.
I don't know about you, Murph, but the fire control order that I always found hilarious was watch my tracer. If they can watch your tracer, then you might as well just hit him anyway. Watch my tracer. Oh, never mind.
I'm a sniper, so I'm completely different. I chose my own path.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's an interesting one to watch. I don't know whether you guys have watched the video. It's a modern one called the Big Sandy.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Now, in America, once a year, they've got this bloody great big valley. They set up targets. They have flying drones, all sorts there, exploding targets. And what it is, it's basically a machine gun fest. Because over there, you know, the sort of shit they can own. And you get everything there from like the Thompson to people with an actual ball turret off a fucking B-52 set up on a rig.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
they just, all of a sudden, it's like, okay, Rangers live. And it just goes absolutely mental.
I was working with a guy over in. Oh, sorry.
Then
sorry
they do the night version where everybody's got markers and tracers. And they use miniguns as well. You can imagine what it's like at night. But if you're into that sort of thing, it is well worth watching. The Big Sandy Shoot, it's called.
I was working out in Saudi, and I had an American guy working with me, and he said, "Oh, come over and meet my son." He said he's an airborne ranger. I said, "No problem at all." So this is 2010, you know. So off we went, and we went off to. I went over to America to see his place and his farm, and his son turned up, and he was a big strapping American boy, you know. And he says, "Oh, do you fancy going out for a shoot?" And I said, "Well, yeah, okay. What?" He says, "Well, I've got this 50 cal here, so let's go." And we went and we're firing this 50 cal, and it's like I nearly broke my bloody shoulder, you know.
Well, I mean, you've probably seen that picture. I put it up a while back. I daren't put it up again now because of YouTube rules. But when we went to the gun show in Birmingham a few years back, obviously there's everything there. And I grabbed a 50 cal and said to the bloke, you know, it's all right if I take a couple of pictures of me holding it up, like, you know. He said, yeah, carry on, like, you know. And I took a couple of pictures of it, and he said, "Well, are you interested in them sort of things?" So I said, "Well, I'm interested in all guns. You know, it's a hobby of mine." And obviously, over here, I'd never get to own anything like that. I said, I said, I'm down to the pitiful state where we shoot legal air rifles, and that's it. I said, but I'm still interested in looking around, you know, seeing what's out there. And he said, well, we actually run a range. Now, whether it's still there or not, I don't know, in Somerset. Now, they were or are licensed for 50 cal.
Oh, my God.
You've got to have 8 mile overshoot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you do.
At the end of the range. And he said, if you're ever down there, he said, pop in. He gave us his card. He said, give us a shout that you're coming.
He said, you can bring your daughter.
Yeah, he said, you can bring your daughter with you. He said, and we'll let you have a couple of rounds off with one. He said, if we get the range permission.
In the UK, you can legally own a 50 caliber.
Yeah, this was after I destroyed my shoulder.
Well, I mean, you know that, yeah.
And I thought, there's no way I'm going to put a 50 cal against that broken shoulder and get away without anything.
I nearly busted my. Next day, I was like, I can't lift my arm. I can't lift my arm.
I'll be honest, that shoulder's that bad. I even shied away about having a go with the shotguns when we were up the range.
Yeah.
I just won't risk it. And they've already told me if I fuck it up again, that's it. There's every chance I'd lose the use of that arm. So
I'm a fucker. Right shoulder, not left side.
I used to enjoy doing 12-bore clay shooting, especially if you had a semi-automatic one as well. That was good fun.
We used to do it on a Sunday while everybody else was at church, just to annoy them. It was only about a quarter of a mile away from the church.
I grew up doing clay and pheasant shooting. You know what I mean? That to me was just my.
Then he just broke his shoulder with an SLR.
Where I live on the coast, there's a stretch of the coastal path where you can't go on certain days.
Yeah, it's the military range. The military range, is it?
No, it's not a military range. It's owned by Clay Pigeon Club, but it's got a public footpath going through it.
Ah,
But
right.
the
Okay.
entire
They red
area
flaggers,
is
do they?
covered in broken clays.
Yeah, you probably more damage
So
from a
red flag
rifle
it.
tray than a shotgun pellet.
Yeah. Well,
But
what
there
I
is
used to do
one.
is,
I don't know whether it's an RAF range or a naval range. Now I can remember many years ago going down there on holiday. I wasn't that old. Where there was an island, and it must have been probably about 8-9 mile offshore, maybe a little bit closer. But you could clearly see A-10s diving down on it. You could hear the brrr as they let a burst off.
Yeah.
And then a bit later on with the delay, obviously, you could see the across the side of this island. But I've never, ever
there,
been able to
there's
remember.
one of those islands up in Scotland. It's where the RAF practice their bombing runs. It's a little
Yeah,
tiny
apparently
island.
this was a bombing range.
Yeah.
But for the life of me, I can't remember where it was. But I
And you've got that
know
place up in Yorkshire, haven't you, where where the jets are flying through and they're flying through the valleys and doing low altitude
that's the
training.
Macloop
Oh,
in Wales.
that's in Wales, that.
Yeah, it's the
Oh, that's in
Macloop.
Wales, is it? Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, again,
Yeah,
yeah.
it goes through Snowdonia.
Yeah, they do get them in the Lake District, but the Macloop is the favoured one because you can get above them on the hills.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it is above them. Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
people wait there, and they don't come across every day. You just got to be there and wait. You know,
Well, you try and get up there, mate.
I know it's a bit of a trek. You know, I had the Brecon
There's
Beacons to
people
deal
that
with. So, I mean,
camp up
you know,
there waiting for
I
it.
know the Brecon Beacons like the back of my bloody head.
All right, Loafer. Yeah, Macloop, that's called, and I watched some of the videos on it, and you get everything coming through from transport, helicopters. You'll get the foreign ones, the Americans and the European Air Forces, when they're flying through, they'll put on a display for them and give them a wing waggle as they
They
go.
give away, yeah, they do, yeah. I'll put the afterburners on as they shoot through. Yeah.
Or they'll tip the jet at the right angle so they can get like a full-on cockpit shot.
Well, there's a famous photo of a jet side on, and the rear pilot or whatever he is, navigator, has put a sign up in the window saying "help" or something like that, and that was taken at the Macloop.
I've seen that. It's,
What do you mean? You can't beat it. You can't beat it.
I can't remember which one it was though. I know I've seen it. Yeah, the Rio in the back. There's another one where the guy's taking a picture back, and he's going like that with a camera and going wave.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I've always wanted to go up there, but it's a hell of a trek.
Yeah.
It is a hell of a trek up, and your windswept are wonderful.
And the other thing is that you'll be lucky to get anywhere to park unless you get there a day or two before.
I mean, they're boys that go up there all the time, and that you see them. They've got their tent set up, and so by the time they get up there, they've got the tent set up. They know which way the wind is coming. They know everything else going. So you walk up there like a plank and do, oh, I want to take a photograph. And you see
most of those are the professional photographers.
God, you don't get it.
Most amateur photographers make it about halfway up and take their shots from there.
Yeah.
But,
most people can't even pronounce the place now, anyway. So.
Well, where we go up in Cumbria, when we're looking for fishing marks, I quite often use Google Maps and Google Earth because you can look along the coast from the satellite and think, "Oh, that looks possible," and then we'll go down and down and down. And we noticed in the sand dunes, but in fact, Heather noticed it before I did. There was like a white arrow. Now, when you focus down on this thing's bloody huge. It's probably a good 50 meters long.
I don't know whether it's that big,
and it's concrete. It's about 6 foot tall. Now, apparently, what it is, there was a bombing range out in the Solway Firth. And what they did for trainee pilots, there was a couple of these arrows inland as well, where they could line themselves up before they got to the coast or something like that. I just, what's that there?
He pointed to the
Points it to the what?
Airfield.
Yeah,
This
does
way
it?
home. I can't remember which way.
She just said it might even point to the airfield, this way home, like.
They did have that, though. They did have that for the bombers. They did have that for the bombers.
Yes,
They did have arrows for the bombers. You know what I mean?
And most of them were on the coast of a neutral country.
Yes.
They were on
Do you remember?
islands for when they were bringing the bombers across from America. A lot of them were breaking down. They were losing their navigations.
Yeah.
So they just kept to a heading. And then when they hit the Irish coast, in white stones usually,
That's the one. Yeah.
directions and where they were, or a map reference.
Where the car boots, darling, was
Yeah, that was a bomber airfield.
Yeah.
But do you remember there used to be a Dulux advert where the dog was running along a beach with a lighthouse behind him?
Yeah.
That beach and lighthouse is actually down the road from us. It's called Talacra Beach.
All right.
And that lighthouse used to, and the sand dunes behind it, used to actually be the shooting range for the Spitfires that defended Liverpool. Because they were based at RAF Sealands.
Why did they bother?
And what they used to do is they would fly out over the estuary, and then they'd look for the lighthouse, and then they'd line up with the lighthouse and use the sand dunes as the shooting range.
Yeah.
And then but behind the sand dunes,
down in Cornwall at Penale Camp. I mean, Stuart's there was going on about no matter what the size of the round, it's the distance it's carried. Absolutely.
It's also the wind direction, and it's also about how much powder you put in the round, man. And it's also whether you decide that you're going to break the Geneva laws by putting a cross cut and putting the.
If you go onto YouTube, there's actually a video there of a guy. Most of you guys there will know what I'm on about. With a Colt 1911. Now he shot into he didn't actually hit the target. You could actually see it hit the sand. Now he proved that bullet would travel nearly a mile from a 1911 Colt.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, he stood there, and I mean the travel time was in the region of 12-15 seconds.
Well, that's why, like in Iraq, if we found out that they were having a wedding in Basra City, we all had to put our bloody Kevlar helmets on, because they do celebratory fire and they go up and come back down again, miles away.
Yeah, and there was that schoolgirl, wasn't there? She broke her leg, again in America. Nobody could understand why. She was just stood in the playground and keeled over. When they got her to the hospital, they found the hole. And again, it was from a handgun that was shot over half a mile away on a range. That had travelled over and hit her in the leg in the school playground.
You know why do you know why the firing of the AK-47 in the air is about?
No.
The UAE, the United Arab Emirates, they're a small group of people, and they needed an army, so they employed Indians and Pakistanis to be their army. So they would march up and down. They do this and do that and do this and do that and do that. And in Iraq 1, where Gaddafi was about to come across, or Saddam Hussein, sorry, was going to come across and talking about invading the UAE, the Indian army and all the army ran away. So the president of the country had to give AK-47s and 300 rounds to every single family of this small community. There's only about 100,000 of UAE residents, pure UAE residents, and he had to give them all a Kalashnikov and 300 rounds. So now, whenever there's a wedding or anything like that, that's why they fire the Kalashnikov, to say, I still have the Kalashnikov. That's why.
Loafer, sorry, I don't know whether you've seen it. There was an old tale of during the Civil War in America that they found 2 bullets welded together that had allegedly hit each other, one from either side.
Stuff like that, pretty much impossible to do deliberately, but freak incidents do happen.
What were the rifled ones that the French bought? It had a French name. not the actual ball. They actually had
What, Gettysburg? Are we talking about Gettysburg? Is the story of Gettysburg? Or?
Civil War, American Civil War.
Oh, right. Yeah, Gettysburg. Yeah.
But anyway, they found these two bullets and they said they'd been hit each other in midair and welded themselves together.
Oh, the Lepore, was it?
A couple of lads decided to try and test this to see if they could do it. Now they've finally done it after 15 years of trying.
Yeah. That's the blast rose, isn't it? The blast rose. Yeah.
I saw a video of it the other day.
They said we've done it. We actually got two bullets hitting each other, but they've taken. Yeah. It's taken 15 years for them to get. Yeah, they've tried it.
They've got it on film.
Yeah,
and they got it on slow mo.
Who else was it? Mythbusters tried to do it, didn't they? They couldn't do it.
Yeah, the blast rose did it the other day. Yeah.
It was because they couldn't synchronize when the triggers were being pulled close enough. Because even with a modern round, they're still unpredictable on how many milliseconds before they'll ignite and fire. And
but if you look back at the Battle of Gettysburg, and if you look back at the First World War, it was man on man, and it was man firing on man.
Yeah.
Now the warfare has changed, where we're units and we move, and we're mobile, and we do this, and you can see that in Ukraine. We're a completely different way that we fight, but there is still hand-on-hand combat. But in those days, there were so many. I mean, you could go back to the charge of the Light Brigade, where they were just charging at cannons with swords. Stupid, but it goes down in history.
Do not throw those bloody spears at me.
It was just
classic that one.
It was just because they didn't have proper communications, because he was told to stand down. He was told not to charge.
Yeah.
And the message came through. The runner came through. He was was so shouting at the runner.
Oh God! So I'm just going to get a drink. I've lost the plot there. I've gone back and thought about that bloody silk cut advert with the pictures. You like the million tears to the silk cut.
It's like, hang on a minute. What? This green uniform we're wearing? Yeah. Well, people can see the blood. Yeah. Okay. Should we change it to red? Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Let's change everything to red. No one sees the blood. Good idea. That's the ideas that the Rupers come up with.
Pretty stubborn.
That's not at all racist, Roger.
No, it's on YouTube. It's an advert from the old Pearl and Dean series years ago at the cinema for silk cut cigarettes.
My favourite advert is that one I sent you, the Volkswagen Golf one.
Yeah.
With the terrorist that drives a Volkswagen Golf. Press the detonator and all you see is the car go poof, and that's it.
I thought it would have actually been a Toyota Hiace.
Well, you'd think so, but it was to show how tough. The joke was they make the cars really tough. So he detonates the ID, and all you see is him turn to red mist inside the car, and you just hear like a, and that's it.
Oh, you got to have me on Facebook. You got to have me on Facebook.
You know who originally
I need shit like that. I need shit like that every now and again. I live in Dubai, so I need it.
Yeah, Clarkson and the
mob. I said it's all my Arab friends.
No, but that one it's stuck in my mind for absolute years. That there was a few like that were close to the mark.
There's another one by MasterCard, and it's a couple driving in France, but they're driving. So they're driving on the right hand side, but they're driving in a British car. So the driver is on the right hand side of the car, and they go to overtake someone, and the old woman's sat in the left seat with a pretend steering wheel, and she goes like that. The car shoots off the bloody road down the hill, and then she just sits there laughing.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Afternoon resist. Stuart, yes, the Russians had some absolutely amazing snipers, and most of them were women.
Leningrad.
Yeah, and they had more snipers than any other army as well, the Russians.
I'm going to drop down to the chat, Roger. And just have
The only reason being is that at that time we had 303s and the Americans.
Hang on, Mikey was trying to say something then.
Sorry.
Just I'm going to drop down to the chat because I'm going to have my tea.
All right, mate. No worries. Appreciate you dropping in.
All right. See you later.
All right, buddy.
But
Yeah, the
Leningrad.
Russian
Yeah,
snipers were absolutely amazing, considering the equipment they had as well.
the rifles were better.
You know, I mean, yeah, they had more to lose, as it were, if they hadn't have did what they did. But they were just ruthless. They really were. Who's the Finnish fella? Big old record. Oh, wouldn't know that one, Loafer. I know at the moment in America they're shooting. This is target mined at the moment with modern guns. Sort of 4 kilometers to a 3-inch target, as it were.
Well, we've got the modern day. We've got the drone. We've got the drone pilots now.
What?
Simho Hyper.
What?
It's a name.
Yeah.
World deadliest sniper.
Oh. Yeah, it's a woman.
Story of the Finnish sniper.
Oh, Finnish.
Yeah. Well, Finns have always been very good at shooting. So I mean, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Actually, no. I'd say yeah, he's probably good.
Resist says hi guys. He's on his phone, so he can't see in the chat. He says hi to you as well, Danny. Yes, Stuart. Now this is something that amazes me. Now we've got some quite big scopes for the air rifles. Now, yeah, they're over scoped. I mean, well over scoped. I mean, my one. Yeah, it should be fitted to a big live fire. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But what I've done, I've stepped down to what do they call it? It's something to do with the parallax. What it is you use the zoom as a zoom, but you're not actually making anything bigger, so you don't have to account.
Yeah. You've got parallax. You've got parallax scope.
Over, and it's a lot better. But most people fit overpowered scopes to air rifles. I don't know why. I mean,
they will shoot that far, so being able to see what.
If you use your holdover.
Yeah, but what's your grouping like using those scopes? What's your grouping like?
At 100 yards, I'd get everything on a 2 pence.
That's not bad. 1 inch grouping, yeah. 1 inch grouping.
So Trojan, good evening, buddy.
Was it 100 yards to the golf balls?
Yeah.
Yeah. Golf ball at 100 yards, 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah. And it was quite a good shot for a legal British air rifle, because we're only allowed up to 12 pound-foot pressure power. Very restricted. But I actually did one shot where I totally went off the scope to pull it off, but I hit one of the large gas cylinders at 200 yards, which is actually on the video I posted of the day at the range. What you couldn't hear on the film was the ding about 8 seconds after I'd fired. Yeah, without going up and looking at mine, Trojan, I couldn't tell you what they are. The last one I got for an absolute song at one of the shooting shows in Birmingham. It was a new one out by a company called Discovery, and it was up at about 230 something, And the last time I saw it, it was over 500.
Very expensive. Very
For a
expensive.
Baker scope. Yeah, you cheeky git, Beardy. But no, Heather will hit a golf ball consistently at 100 yards easy. And that's with a Springer as well as a PCP.
Believe it or not, that skill set might be needed sooner or later.
Why do you
You
think
never
they
know,
keep it
mate.
up?
You never know. That's why I said, the gas cylinders that you fit in the Super Sirs, the bigger ones.
Yeah.
I hit one of them at 200 yards, and that's actually on a video I posted called "A Day at the Range." There's clips in there of both shooting Springers. I did a walk round the air rifle range to show people what was there.
Yeah.
Not all round the hunter field targets out in the trees, but the heated sheds and the open areas, field targets, plinking ranges.
Look, I mean, I live in Dubai, so it's not for me to actually turn around and put the fear of God in anyone, and I'm not putting the fear of God in anyone. But the skill sets that we used to know about lighting a fire, about doing this, I'm not a prepper. I'm a guy who will turn around and I'll do what I have to do when I have to do it. But it's a case that if you don't have those basic skills of being able to light a fire, being able to look for shelter, look which way the wind is coming, look way to just go up against a hedge at least and just protect yourself from the wind.
Just going to answer Trojan there. I take it you like your air arms then. Look up the test on the HW97. Heather's actually got the stainless steel actioned one. That's as good as either of those two. And my mate's got the TX200. The only reason I don't like the Pro Sport is because if you miss the pellet port, it drops through the hole in the bottom. And that lever hurts your bloody fingers as well. Sorry, Murph.
No, relax, mate. All right, no, you're talking technical. Crack on.
I suppose the weirdest one I've ever fired and probably the most dangerous and done the most damage to me was a punt gun.
It's a what?
A punt gun.
All right.
Basically, I didn't know till afterwards that they're supposed to be strapped to a boat. These things, you can get anything from a bore that you can fit a double barrel shotgun down up into like 2-3 inches, probably even more. And what they used to do was fill them with black powder, nuts, bolts, lumps of chains, fucking everything. Come out the reeds on the punts, and they'd wipe out a whole flock of ducks or geese with one fucking shot with these things.
Yep.
But the punt used to soak up the recoil. Now, this was only a small one. It probably had a bore of maybe an inch, maybe a bit bigger. And I lent it against the gatepost simply because it had a stock on it.
Well, remember that it was a blacksmith who invented the Gatling gun, where you had to wind the handle. You had to wind the handle.
William Gatling.
William Gatling, and he was a blacksmith, and you had to wind the handle for it to rotate and to fire the bullet, and it was the most lethal weapon.
Followed on to that was the full auto ejection system, which was done by Maxim. Yeah,
but the key point that I would make is that look back to the past before you look to the future. Anyone can make a Gatling gun.
What power you're running, mate? You can run the 97 quite higher than 12 pound per foot, 12 foot-pound, but we stay legal. As I say, with that, she'll hit a golf ball 100 yards consistently. She's every bit as good with one as I am. And considering it's a bloody great heavy gun, the TX is a lot lighter than the 97. Especially the stainless steel version. And go on.
Mine has been tuned. You had the upgrade done to it before I bought it.
Oh yeah, it was tuned before you done it. It was all right up to the limit. But we've got one of the best, or used to be the best HW tuner in the country, quite local, over at Samwell Shooting Sauna. Tony. He's the only one that HW actually will send brand new guns that he tunes and then puts them under his own name. That's how well known he is.
But yeah,
If he made it through COVID.
Eh?
If he made it through COVID.
If he made it through COVID, yeah. But he is very, very expensive. I'd never buy a gun from him.
Wasn't a well man.
Yeah, that guy Nick yesterday who bought he wanted to go and do a dumb lane. He was looking to see if he could find a dumb. He's checking school times going out in Scotland, and he bought a gun on the dark web in America or something. And
so I'm just trying to think of a name here, Murph.
Tony.
Tony L. It was definitely Samwell Shooting Centre.
And it was Tony.
It was Tony, yeah, because we took yours over there to be sorted, didn't we? But yeah, he is good. But
you should be able to sort your own weapon out. I'm disappointed.
I'll tell you what, mate. She knows what to do when she's holding it from the other end. I'll tell you.
I'm not getting it done. We're not going into that conversation tonight.
I always used to say.
I'm not lowering myself, Merv. I am not lowering myself.
I can move faster than her for a bit of time, and I can run away. But the only difference now is I've got to get at least 150 yards head start, or it's going to hurt.
Yep, my hip gives out.
No, I don't think it was Leech Trojan. If you say it, I'd remember it. I don't even know if he's still alive.
Don't know what's going on with my camera tonight. I look like Peanut Head. But,
well, doing better than Pappy. He was starting to look like Action Man with realistic hair. Sorry, Dan, if you're watching, mate. But no, he's into the stage now where it's really itchy and it starts to fall out, and then it will start to regrow again. He knew it was going to take a few months before it settled down.
Oh, no,
he had a haircut the other week.
Well, I haven't had a haircut in about 3 years. So.
I had 2 shearings, mate. That's it. And it was only by general consensus that I grew the beard again because people didn't like the 70s porn moustache.
I didn't want to say anything.
No, but I did, and so did Holly.
I know, yeah. Well, bend over.
That's it. I mean, you've only got to look at the picture of my new logo when you see it. I mean, it's the one with my hair out the side. Mikey did a brilliant one, first of all, with a cartoon character in there. It looked like a bold Father Christmas, to be honest. But I thought, no, you know me, I've always used my real name. I put my real name to everything. And I've never hidden who I am. So, yeah, I thought, let's find a funny picture of me and stick it in there,
Yeah, look, that's the whole idea of us. Look, we're not fake. We don't sit here and turn around and give bullshit. We turn around and we're good people. And we try to talk to each other.
To be honest, with what I've got on here, I should be able to do something similar, but I've never tried it. So I don't know what app Mikey uses, but my editor's pretty good. I've got a lot of effects, and I noticed that there's an upgraded version now where you can put curved text, but I can do that on the other paint thing that I've got on here anyway. It's not Paint Shop, but it's free. That's all I care about.
That's it. That's the way to think.
But I've had that new editing suite now, a month, maybe more. And I'm still learning what I can do with it. I'm still finding more features on it.
And what are you using? Which one?
CapCut.
All right. Okay. Any good?
Yeah. You can have 3-4 layer, multi-track layers. You can control the volumes on each layer. You can put each layer in the screen, how you want it on the screen. There is a lot more that you can get for it, but that's the paid version. I got the free one.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, why pay if you don't need it? I mean, look, we're not professional outfits,
Well, I mean, you can put transitions between the clips. There's lists of transitions. Some are restricted, obviously, because they come with the pro version that you pay for.
Yeah.
But there's a good, I would say, 300 or 400 different transitions. You've got all different effects, banners, stickers.
Is it a subscription model or is it just a one-time buy?
You don't buy it; you just download it.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you want to go pro, is it a subscription or is it
the options in there to go pro as well?
So yeah, but what I'm asking you is like with what's it called? Final Pro Cut. You buy it once and it's yours forever.
I don't know because I never buy them. I just dismiss the option when it comes up.
Yeah, you see, whereas a lot of the other ones now with that are doing with the editing program said it's like
an annual.
No, monthly.
Oh no, I wouldn't have anything like that.
You know, pay us $30 a month and we'll do this for you. We'll do that for you. Yeah.
Shaving cream and aftershave use. Yeah, really? Yeah, I mean that one. It's the one I did use was very, very basic. It was single track. If you wanted audio over the top, you had to create a single track within the video when you were recording to do it. But with that one, you put it. Dan told me about it, and I tried it. Downloaded it and had to play with it because it's easier to explain to me the basics rather than me play. And yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I'm doing more and more with it. Created some new openings for the videos, and
I noticed that.
Beardy's just put in there actually CapCut Pro is monthly.
Yeah.
But it does come up with the option, but when
it's free torrent
half a dozen times, it stops giving you the option. But it's the best one I've been using. Best one I've used. I've tried others and even some free ones. And this one's cloud free as well. It doesn't go up to the cloud. It's just between you and the computer.
Ah, right. Okay.
Where the other ones I tried, it was going to the cloud. But then when the signal was, I wanted to download it onto the computer to edit into a video or whatever, it totally threw the computer out. It just wouldn't recognize the formats, probably because I hadn't signed up to it.
That's why I'm saving to the sim on this. The video I uploaded on this, I don't upload until I want to, and I just plug it into my phone and bang, it goes.
Well, I film on the computer sim. I use my webcams. I used to do it on the phone and then put it on the computer, but because I do it all indoors now, I just use the webcam, so that video is straight on the computer.
Gotcha. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I can do more with it then, because what I have my whiteboard for my notes when I'm filming.
Yeah.
Now, when I've finished making my notes up, I will highlight in the notes where I want to put a picture, clip, soundtrack, whatever.
Oh, I'm used to it.
I've recorded it. I go back and I'll look for pictures, clips that I'm intending to put in it, and either copy them, download them, copy them off of Facebook if they're a meme. You know, I put my 2 little funny memes in most videos, and I put all those in a file which is ready for a video. So
that's a full-time job.
The editor, put that video on import media, and boom, all of those videos, clips, and everything else are there for me to slot in and put where I want.
But that's a full-time job.
Now, for a 10-minute video, putting in 2 memes, the opening titles, and maybe inserting half a dozen things will take me about half an hour, including.
Oh, that's not bad then. That's not bad.
Including importing it back to the computer, ready to post on YouTube.
Rendered and ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, I take a little bit longer because I always proof watch my videos before I post them. Usually,
I don't. I never watch. I never watch again.
Because I've had them so many times where YouTube has messed the upload up.
Oh, I allowed you. I allowed YouTube to delete mine. They deleted my live stream 11 for some reason. I hadn't a bloody clue why they deleted them. So I went and watched live stream 11 again.
Well, even when I've uploaded to YouTube, I'll watch it through on there before I publish.
Will you? Why?
Because YouTube have messed around so many times, cut bits out, killed the sound. When I've said, "Oh, you like you do," so the upload. Oh no, it must have been a technical issue your end. Well, it hasn't because I proof watched the video before I press publish.
I always have the video. I still have the video of number 11. I have the video, and I publish it on Facebook. I publish it on Twitter. I publish it on everyone. YouTube doesn't stop.
Michael. So yeah, it's a bit anal, but it saves mistakes going out. Yeah, I have had a few, and luckily enough, it's usually Graham Nutt actually or Holly. They're usually first in, and they will give me a shout to say, "Oh, there's a fuck up there." I mean, they even repeated half the video on one video.
Who did?
YouTube.
They replied to you with repeating half your video.
Yeah, after I'd posted, because I didn't watch it once it had gone up. Graham Nutt, a sub, got in touch with me and said, "You realise from about halfway through your video it repeats."
Went back to the
I messaged you as well on that one.
Yeah. So what I did, I had to go back, re-upload.
Yeah, I messaged you on that one as well. I remember when it was repeating again. Yeah, I watched for the first 10 minutes and then it repeated again.
Stuart, yeah, the money is ridiculous. I mean, Heather's just had a look. And what used to be a tenner for a day, as long as you wanted, the local range round here now has gone up to 25 quid a frigging day.
No, I'm sorry. Pre-COVID, it was 7.
7 quid pre-COVID.
7 quid. Bloody hell.
Post-COVID, it went up to a tenner, and we said fair enough. Everybody's in a bad place. He's been shut for 3 years. Apparently now it's 25 quid.
So if anybody's got a suitable wood or a field within 5-6 mile of us here that's watching,
the Woodlander. Contact the Woodlander.
Well, we did have several round this area. There was it was quite a ramshackle one over at Coventry, this side of Coventry. I mean, it was in the middle of a fucking housing estate, and you had to drive through a car park to get to it. But that shut down for some reason or other.
If you check out the Woodlander, the Woodlander is his YouTube channel. Check him out. He will sort you out.
Yeah, I mean, we've got somewhere to go down in Wales. I mean, we're not interested in shooting live quarry. We're target shooters at the end of the day.
That's what I mean, yeah.
To get a shooting permission for rodents now, it's near nigh impossible.
It's impossible.
Around here.
Protect the animals.
You've got to have liability insurance. You've got to have contracts with the landowner and all sorts of shit. We just want to go out and shoot metal targets or paper targets, whatever.
Yeah.
But they've even gone as far now, they're banning lead pellets. They're all going to be alloy and composite or what have you.
You know why?
It's because it's on the ranges. It contaminates the ground, that amount of pellets.
You also know why.
It's
lead hurts.
Oh well, yeah.
Alloys don't. Oh, what was that? Ding bee sting.
Exactly, Stuart. I believe there has been 1 or 2 weapons that have been modified as well. Oh, bloody voice is going. Simply because on full auto they put too many rounds through the same hole, which was a total waste. Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah, military have got to be trained, and there are going to be wastages. Obviously, you can't train on dummy rounds and dummy bombs. you need that experience of using the real thing. So yeah, that is. People don't realise how big of expenditure that is for the military. To be honest, I mean, I haven't looked into specific figures, but the last time I was talking about it a few years ago with a mate of mine. He was a vet, and he said you wouldn't believe the money they spend on, training with rounds and shit.
So,
But now
given the fact that we've got
NATO standard, haven't we? So we can get them from any country, basically.
given the fact that we've got nuclear missiles, how do we train with them?
Well, one or two have tried to fire them off, and they contain it. Well, you never know what's in them bloody things.
I'm just asking the question that we need to train. I understand the necessity to train, but
I mean, you got that bastard in North Korea firing them off in all fucking directions. I don't think he knows which direction they're going in himself until they're launched. I mean, yeah, okay, that one might have a bit of a problem. That's all right. It'll only drop on China.
Yeah, no problem.
I mean, I'm going to be knocking it on the head in half hour anyway, but the throat is getting a bit.
I'll make you a cup of coffee.
And I don't think that's anything to do with the treatment. Luckily, they didn't take anything out of my throat. But I have had the sniffles the last few days. So.
Have you?
Yeah, I permanently got to make my sinuses a shag. Not mainly through cocaine abuse when I was young, but obviously with the fire and that as well, the heat and the smoke got all the way through the system there, and it's quite scarred apparently. But it's never really bothered me over the years. But I have noticed once my throat and my voice does start to go, it ends up right, bang, it's gone.
Yeah, I know you mean. But
yeah, there is a cost difference in training and live. I understand that, Stuart. A lot of the training ones, early stages, are lower yield as well, aren't they? Even rifle and pistol rounds. But they got all this new shit coming now, haven't they? They got rail guns, and they've been around for years. But who was it? One army, was it the French? There's one army there that have actually mounted one on one of their naval vessels now. It's the first rail gun to go into operation or something.
No, you had it in Vietnam, didn't you?
Not rail guns, no.
Yeah, the what's that, the name of that plane that had the rail guns on the side of the one side of the plane? It was
that's not a rail gun. No. That's a rail gun. That's a minigun. That's not a rail gun. A rail gun is fired by magnets. There's no explosion.
Oh right. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking about the.
Yeah, it's the minigun, the Gatling gun, the big.
No, they were minis. One side of the plane was just totally open. It just had they
got them on both sides. It's Puff the Magic Dragon. It's just
Puff the Magic Dragon. That's the one. Puff the Magic Dragon
turned into a gunship.
Yeah.
It's got a 40mm Balfour's cannon, rapid fire Balfour's cannon on there. There's 3, I think it's, or 2 miniguns, one each side, and then there's a load of other stuff on there as well. I think it's called Puff the Magic Dragon.
It was called Puff the Magic Dragon, yeah, because even had it in the nose. It had everything. It had everything.
They nicknamed that in Vietnam, didn't they?
Yeah, it was Vietnam. It was used in Vietnam. Yeah, it was it came up with some American guy came up with this idea. Let's cut the thing out of this Hercules, or cut the thing out of this B-52, and let's just fucking go for it.
Yeah,
and it caused mayhem.
Well,
hint for Israel.
Grandma's house. I can't remember which video it was in now. A while back, I showed a project in progress, which is actually about yay big, and it's a replica scratch built from nothing, not a kit, of a Gatling gun. And if I ever get round to finishing it, it will have a crank and it will eject shells out the bottom and the barrels will turn.
Exactly.
All
That's what the
made out
Gatling gun is. And I
all
say, you have to
made
go
out
back
of
to
brass.
basics.
And
How many
it's
barrels?
also designed on the original version that did not have magazines in the top.
Didn't? No. Belt fed.
It had a it had a rail.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it did. It did have a rail.
Used to slide clips into it, and all it did is the rounds used to hang out the rail, and they used to drop down like that, and that's where the shaking came from, because they quite often jam because they were gravity fed.
Yeah.
And I've even made tiny little clips with the rounds on out of brass wire that are probably 3 mil long.
Well, those are the basics, and those are the basics that you need to learn how to make fire, learn how to make a Gatling.
And yeah, I mean, the Gatling gun, they were prone to jamming. They were prone to jamming, and they were also prone to misfiring as well.
Yeah, well,
some of the early ones.
Hamas turned around and took pipes.
But you know, my favourite ones are like the Lewis gun and stuff like that. You know, you think of the Lewis gun, it was mounted on aircraft, it was handheld, it was tripod mounted, it was vehicle mounted. You know, a bit like Maxim gun as well. But yeah, I mean, some of the modern weapons, I prefer the old ones. I don't know why.
But then you're talking about needing
chain gun, yeah.
You're talking about needing people to actually supply you equipment.
Well,
a Gatling was built in a blacksmith shed.
What's going on out in the East now has proved that a lot of it now is technology. Yes, more so in the last ones when the Americans were involved with the drones and that. You know, the drones that the Ukrainians and shit, they're totally different. You know, they're not them bloody great big huge things. They're amateur. They're radio controlled models, most of them. But it's today's war is tech. You know, both sides, America and Russia, have got these automated robots, automated tanks, obviously rockets and drone shit like that. That's, you know, they have been around for a few years, but all these new ones that are coming out now, I mean, I do spend a little bit of time looking at them, but it was so intimidated by shotgun equipped Americans during World War II, so they tried to ban them from the war. That grandma's house is a load of bollocks, to be honest with you. The Germans never tried to ban any weapon the British were using, the same as the British never tried to ban any weapon the Germans.
They had entente cordiale, as the French would say. Entente cordiale. They were best friends.
The reason that the shotgun was used quite extensively in Vietnam was because it was preferred for close quarters.
Close quarter weapons. Close
most
quarter.
Guys carried it as a secondary weapon, not a primary. And those in the know also used it as a smoking implement. Hence the phrase doing a shotgun. And that's why most of modern weapons, especially the small stuff now, is designed to be small because they are designed as close contact weapons. Hey, you what?
Scratching. So I put my hand out and she's like, what, me?
But yeah, the shotgun, believe it or not, yeah, some of the modern shells.
The shotgun was used in Vietnam in the tunnels.
Most of them only went in with handguns, and then that's all
they went in handgun first, and then the shotgun was dropped down to them, and they went into the tunnels. That's where the shotgun came.
In itself is a very inefficient weapon.
There's no accuracy at all.
The modern ones,
the Uzi has no accuracy. The Uzi is just into a room and you just spray the bloody thing. You've got no magazine left. You just
It's down to the slugs. I mean, the Russians, they've got some amazing shotguns. I mean, the AR, what is it? The AR or MM2. I mean, that bloody thing is amazing. It's drum fed. It's not. It got fully automatic as well. Who tested it? What's it? FPS Russia. He tested it, and the recoil on it. He actually had a pair of them firing them freehand.
And they were that easy to use. Yeah.
Amazing bit of kit. But again, a shotgun round, the effective distance, unless you're using a slug, but even then
you're talking 20, 30 feet.
Yeah. Once you go up to a slug, basically what you're doing is a shoulder mounted cannon. You know, especially with a smoothbore, although the newer ones are rifled, the slug ones, but
you're better off with a 9mm. You're always better off with a 9mm.
Again, Grandma's house, it depends what rounds you got in it. If you got something that you're using for skeet shooting or knocking over pigeons, unless you're 10, 15 foot in front of it, it's not going to fucking kill you.
Right.
Contrary to what you see in films.
It will maim.
It will hurt.
The one advantage about a shotgun is the fact that you can actually just hurt them badly.
Yeah.
And then you can take the second shot. Take the second shot if you want to.
We shouldn't even be talking about it in here because it is one thing that YouTube does frown on.
I know. Well, we're not. I'm just saying about the second shot.
Even History Debunked was getting videos pulled down because he had his I can't remember whether it was a Winchester or whatever, but he had it
behind his shoulder.
Yeah, and it was only a replica.
Yeah.
And they pulled a video down because of it. You seem very dark up that end tonight, baby.
I'm sorry, I'm so dark.
Yeah, dark and in the corner. But, right, give it another 10, 20 minutes. I'm going to be winding it up then.
Well, you do comments, I'll shut up.
I'm surprised I've stayed awake this long, to be honest. Paralabium for a 9mm. Pump action shotgun. 12 okay. Yeah, I mean, they do use shotguns for literally breaking in doors now. You know, they get a special slug in them. And they've got the spikes on the end or whatever it is that digs into the wood. My husband grew up firing black powder percussion cap. How old was he then? Unless he was an enthusiast. Okay, Hunter. I'm gone. And I'll tell you what, sometimes I get that bad, it happens that quick as well. Literally, I'll sit here, something will come on the telly, and I'll turn around, put my feet on the arm of the chair, and I won't see a minute of it. I'll just be gone.
And then he'll moan at me when I turn it over and it's finished half an hour.
Yeah. She'll turn it over and I'll wake up and I was watching that.
Yeah, I know, yeah. In the middle of sleep. Yeah, in the middle of sleep.
I mean, I do find it easier to fall asleep when the telly's on. Why, I don't know. But I used to quite often watch late night TV because I was awake, which obviously isn't good for Heather if she's trying to sleep.
Was that Babe Station?
So, no. Documentaries usually.
I remember it used to be on Channel 5, Babe Station.
But I'll fall asleep watching it. Now, Heather, we used to wake up like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and turn the telly off, and I'd wake up and I was fucking watching that. I've been asleep for the last 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, you go right back to the 80s when we had Babe Station on Channel 5. Right, at 12 o'clock. And now we've gone to the totally Puritan side of the world where we can't even turn around and can't call you a he or a she.
I never needed to watch any of that. I've more than usually had all the right
Do you
things.
understand what education? Do you understand what education has done? Well, we've gone from Babe Station to fucking this shit. Yeah, it's horrendous.
I remember best, Beardy.
Channel 5, Channel 5, 12 o'clock, bang, Babe Station.
Yeah, especially if it's a foot in front of your face, Grammar. Actually, Beardy, you're saying about that. I mean, Heather, she'll remember a couple of years back, I was looking into one of the replicas of Bessie, and you can buy one that's full action, everything works and moves on it, but it's just a solid barrel. And you get a certificate to say it's a replica, and they do quite a lot of them. The old flint locks, wheel locks, cap and ball, all sorts of them.
Not exactly cheap.
Yeah, they weren't cheap. That was the reason I decided to make that little miniature crossbow I did. I looked into a full-size one, as it were. Found beautiful company down in Kent somewhere that make replica medieval crossbows using identical materials and methods, and they were quite reasonably priced. And then I looked at it, and they won't sell to the public. They only sell to museums. I thought, what? P53 Enfield? Never heard of that one.
303. 303.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've heard of the 303, and there was, what was the later one they did with the bigger bore? They didn't. I don't think they actually brought it into service, but it was.
I did my sniper's first badge on my 303, and that could go up to 1.1 miles depending on the wind. That was a miler. 303 was a miler. My sniper's rifle is pretty fucking good. And
a video I watched. You'd probably be interested in this, Murph. A few years back now. It should be still on YouTube. What was the title? It was something like hand forged musket by an artisan or something or other. And it was one of these like a display where they built the workshop like they did back in the day and whatever. And this guy was actually forging a musket.
Historical, yeah.
Now, even down to the point of making the drill, the spoon drill, to core out the barrel.
Yeah.
It was all hand forged. The drills literally were on a wind-up hemp rope that pulled down the barrel.
Yeah.
And it showed him right from going out, cutting the wood down for the stock, forging the barrel, forging the action, everything right up through to firing it.
Yep.
It was about an hour video, and it was absolutely amazing.
Oh, send me the link. Send me the link, my man. Send me the link.
I've done it. I'll see if I can have a look for it at some point. But
I love stuff like that. You know, I mean, my wife used to go crazy at me because I'd sit down.
Buddy.
Oh, you all right, mate?
How you doing, bud?
You good?
Yeah,
caught us late. I'm only going to be on for about another 10 minutes.
Yeah, I've been out in the field, mate, on a digger, so I've only just got in.
Oh, bloody hell,
I seen a video of you on it the other day.
Yeah, I've been building a big lake out there, so I've just this minute turned the digger off and come in. So
nice. What's that, for a fishing pond?
I wish. She ain't gonna let me do that, mate. No, we got a load of Cahuga ducks and Indian runner ducks, miniature bloody apple yards and that. It's about 50 of them, and they've all been in like pens where we've had the bird flu crap. Now I've dug a big lake for them to go out on a pond now. So
nice. Nice. Yeah, I saw the one Luce posted up with the dogs the other day. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
I don't go looking for people on Facebook. What I do when it comes into my feed or someone comments or whatever, yeah, I go into it. But I do follow. I see Paul's posting as well.
Yeah. He's got another bird now. He's hooked up with over at Aylesbury now, so I don't see much of him, mate.
I did see he was still into his bikes.
Yeah, he got a bloody. Well, he did have a bandit, and then he got rid of that and bought that bloody Hayabusa. Not Hayabusa. Yeah, Hayabusa, I think it is.
Yeah, that was the last one he posted. Was the
yeah. Fucking idiot, mate. Fucking idiot. Too many twats on the road, ain't there?
Honestly, mate, a mate of ours here, he sold his bike. When his bike said 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, easy.
And he had a big trailer just for commuting and getting around. And he said it's just not worth it. He said there's no time gained. You can't get through the traffic like you used to.
No. And the same, mate. It really ain't.
And I said earlier on the live in the EU. Oh, pardon me. They're on about bringing the bike speed limit down below the car speed limit so they can't overtake.
What, and they up in the push bikes speed limit, are they?
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. There's more push bikes getting caught speeding in Wales now than there are cars.
Yeah. Well, there is now with these new bloody electric e-bikes, isn't there?
I tell you what, mate. These kids that are riding around on them and causing fucking mayhem.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're getting them from. They've got to be nicking them. I mean, them bloody things are $5,500 a piece.
Yeah. I got a mate of mine does where he does what you used to do. He does a lot of downhilling and that. Mm-hmm. And a few of the boys now have got e-bikes and they're like 10, 11 grand.
Yeah. Well, so, you can pay 10 grand for a decent downhill bike without a motor in it, you know.
He done his a little bit cheap, right? Because he bought the frame and then he built it up over the months.
Hi, Sean. Yeah, well, that's what I used to do out in the workshop.
Yeah, I think the frame
I wanted, and then I'd order all the bits, usually second hand.
Yeah.
That I wanted fit into it, and then once I got the box of bits together, then I'd build it.
Yeah, well, same as the bikes on it, mate. That's how we used to do the motorbikes on it at one time. So
yeah, well, you remember how many wrecks used to be in my garage that all started running.
Yeah. As we do, mate. As we do.
I'll tell you what. I was speaking to somebody the other day, and they were saying about how did you get into the cycling and that and riding on dirt and stuff. I said, well, believe it or not, 300 yards from the bottom of our road was the fucking council tip across the field.
Yeah.
He said, whatever you rode the following week was what you ripped out of there and rebuilt over the weekend.
Yeah. We was quite lucky in Marcham, though, weren't we? Really, because we had the quarry at Cot Hill, we had the tip, we had Bluebell Woods, we had everything really. Yeah,
I can remember tear out around Bluebell Woods on mopeds.
I'm all right now, mate. I own 5 acres here of an acre of woodland, and I got a 700cc quad, so I do what the fuck I like, man.
There you go. Yeah.
You got the ground and the equipment for me to kill myself on then.
Yeah, there is everything here, mate, for you. I'd like to see you on the quad out here, though, mate, to see whether you still got it. See where I can still hit with an air rifle.
You'd be lucky if I could get my leg on it, mate, let alone ride it. I could probably do it.
It is a bit of a beast. I did come flying off it a couple of weeks ago. They've locked it away from me for a while. So,
to me, if it's got handlebars, it should only have 2 wheels.
Wow. Mate, this one, you get up on one.
If you've got handlebars, you should only have 2 legs.
I have been on them.
I'm only playing, you know I am.
I'm all right with that, mate. I ain't got no worries. Got no worries at all, mate.
How are you, buddy? You all right? You good?
I'm good. Yeah, getting better and better. I started physio now, so they've made me a leg. They won't let me bring it home.
No, not until you're capable on it.
Yeah.
We need you back fit.
You'd probably learn to use it better at home on your own anyway.
Well, it ain't that. It's a lifestyle I lead, though, Rog. They know I'm going to be up a fucking tree and I'm going to be in a digger, and you know what I mean. So they ain't going to let me bring that home.
Yeah, but once you get used to it, you'll be doing all of that shit again. You understand?
Yeah,
Yeah, the trouble is,
Yeah.
see,
If you let it beat you, you're going to lose. If you fucking say, yeah, I'll carry on what I'm doing. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to do this, bang, 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 bang. You're going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've left it a year without going to get it because if I ever have any sore issues or pain, I can still carry on doing what I'm doing because I'm so used to on one leg doing it now. So
yeah, you can just take it off and
I accept that.
They told me it was dangerous for me to work simply because I'm, at any time I could pass out or, but with this new treatment, that's knocking me for 6 as well because they've upped that. And that's looking like that's going to continue for the foreseeable future because they can't get all the isotope they need for the bloody test or something.
We're all getting old,
we're
mate.
not good for the war then, are we?
Nah, we're all getting old. We're all fucking wanked now, aren't we?
All broken. We're all broken. Broken in some way or other.
One way or another, we're broken anyway.
Yeah.
What we say on that, if you put all the good bits together of all of us, we couldn't put together a functioning fucking human being.
I'll tell you one thing we could do. We would have mobility and we'd have snipers. So we're pretty damn good at what we could do. You don't need
without a doubt. Without a doubt. I'm pretty sure there's nothing we couldn't tackle anyway.
No.
Phil, sorry you dropped in late, mate.
No, that's all right, bud. It was only a quick one anyway. I'm just going to have a coffee and make some tea. So,
yeah, it's always good to see you, buddy.
Always. And you, mate. I'll catch you next week. Anyway, what time do you get on?
4 o'clock.
All right, mate.
4 o'clock till 7. And this week I will be going from 8 o'clock till whenever on Sunday night.
All right. Okay, then.
My mate's not going live again this week, so I'm going to put a live out so the guys have got somewhere to come if they want to.
Well, I don't do community service anymore, so I'll be all right.
We'll go on to that stuff. Fucker.
I'm hoping the farmers will when potato season starts, so I can do the old potato holes.
I'd like to thank the guys on the panel.
Good to see you, buddy.
All right, mate. You take care anyway, and I'll speak to you Sunday.
Always. You know the rules. You know the rules.
Take care.
Take care, bro.
Bye, mate.
Bye. Yeah, the old voices start.
I think that's the end of it, isn't it?
He's an old mate of mine.
I know that. I was referencing his stump. I know.
Absolutely lovely bloke he is, and his missus is lovely. As he said, his brother's a bit of a hooligan, but there again, he always was. But and guys in the chat, absolutely brilliant. Thank you. Nice to see you in here. And as I say, don't forget Sunday night from 8 o'clock onwards.
Your life.
You're under no obligation to come along. I know a lot of paps, usual ones don't. But if you want someone to come on Sunday night just for a quick chat, I'll say initially 8 o'clock till 10. But last week we saw what happened. I went on till, I think it was about 11:30. But we'll play it by ear and see how it goes. But you're all welcome.
I didn't get a notification.
Most of my videos don't come with notifications, mate. It's YouTube.
Yeah, I know, but I get your notifications. I didn't get Pap's notification.
No, you won't from Pat because I put it out through my channel. It doesn't go through his channel.
Ah, right. Okay. All right.
What he does, he normally, if I'm covering, he'll normally put a post in his community page to let people know.
Right. I'm not doing a live tomorrow. I'm going to upload the one I recorded tonight. And then I'm going to do a completely different. I'm going to show Dubai in a completely different way. And I'm going to go and have a walk and talk. So there's no live from me tomorrow. There will be upload from me tomorrow. And there will be another thing that's added on from then. So when you do your live on Sunday, I'll be there. All right?
No worries, mate.
All right.
Yes, Sean. I will see you on Sunday. Take care, darling. Who else got? Smiler, Rob, usual suspects. No, we're doing really well. The subs are growing very slowly. I like that. But yeah, I've always said I don't really care about numbers.
Mine are decreasing.
And if anybody wants to go over to Murph that don't know where his channel is, under my daily videos, there's always a link in the description.
I'm not worried about it. I don't do it for money. I've already been told I'll never get money from it. So I do it because I love it. You know.
A big thank you, guys, and we'll see some of you on Sunday night. And as always, before we go, stay safe, stay strong, stay free. Respects, guys. Stay safe out there.
Take care, all of you.
All right, press that one. This is